Shalom.
Shalom.
All praises to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Hashem, Rakakadash.
I say double honors to our apostles and elders, very great millstone, peace and blessings to the Lord's hopeful elect. Today being September 14th, there's been a lot of craziness that's happening this week. A lot of things that's just been happening, right? What I want to highlight, because well, first I want to say with all this happening, you want to make sure you pay attention to the news as far as bills that's passed, because when certain things make the headline, like these psyops that's been performed, the goal is to distract the people from what's really being passed under the table. They don't do it for no reason. So you got to understand everything has an objective, right? Well, we talk about the UK for a moment, right? In the UK, something big happened this month, including what could be happening within this week, is that in the UK now, right, they passed a bill, and this is big because it's eventually going to affect all of NATO, okay? And America's part of NATO. But they call it the Child Protection Law or something like that, right? But really it's a disguise for control. So in the UK, they now require all your social media platforms, the popular ones, Spotify, your Twitter, all those, require you to scan your face. And it's under the guise of age verification, right? We're trying to protect the kids. But if you go back to 2021, when they announced that they were going to roll it out, they said that they want to end online anonymity, right? No more being anonymous. And they said we want to punish people for the things they say. But now they'll say, oh, it's for the kids. You see, they had to patch it up. In fact, Morial, can you read the Proverbs 26?
They already talking. 28. It's like they already talking about basically like leaking all the people's information that says something negative about Charlie Kirk. You know? So yeah, they basically plan on murdering all you rebels. You know, that's quote unquote against white supremacy.
Yeah,
or white conservatives.
Yeah, the idea is to punish people who say anything against the powers that be. So they're trying to punish, oh, anybody don't say what we say, it's a problem. Which is going to lead to the famine, because ultimately they're going to get to the point where they're going to say anybody that call themselves an Israelite is anti-Semitic. You know that's going to be number one, because it's really them Amalekites that's running everything from behind the scenes. Because this is all in the benefit of who? The international bankers who are who? The so-called small hats. You got that for me?
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 26 and verse 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
It's like verse 26 first.
26. Verse 26. Actually, gotta start up at 24. It says, verse 24, he that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him when he speaks.
Look up that word, emblem. Hebrew word, nakar, which means to acknowledge, to recognize. Or it says to act strange, to disguise. Okay? So it says, he that hateth disguiseth his lips and layeth up deceit within him, meaning he's preparing what he's gonna say. Right? Keep going.
It says, he that hateth dissembleth with his lips and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Right, so the goal for the devil is to cover up the things he's coming as, and it's always under the disguise of humanitarian aid. And oh, it's for the kids. That's what they say now. Oh, this is for age verification, right? But 2021, when you announced it, you said we want to end being anonymous online, and we want to punish people for the things they say. Fast forward to today, oh, it's for the kids. That's deception, and it's for complete control, okay? They want to verify that you're not a child, and they're trying to protect. So they always come with the disguise like a lamb, right? This is for the greater good. Oh, Monsanto, that was set up to end world hunger. But if that's the case, according to the farmers, why is it that you were selling them, I forgot the term they call it, but dead seeds on arrival, meaning only good for one pop. they can't regenerate. You change the genetic genome to take out the ability for those fruits and vegetables to produce their own seed. But I thought it was for stopping world hunger. You know, no, it's for control. Now they control you. This is how they do it. It was even one of those presidents, even he acknowledged, who was it? Was it Reagan? He said the most dangerous words, the 9 words from America is what? I'm here from America and I'm here to help. Something like that. I think that was Reagan that said that. So it's well known now that whenever the devil comes and offers aid or help, there's really an ulterior motive behind it. So in the UK now, you actually have to access your social media platforms or whatever it is, you actually have to scan your face and everything's gonna be recorded on the database. You see? So now, because what happened was a lot of people were using pictures of video games and stuff like that to get around that. They fooling them now, but they eventually gonna catch up. Whoever it is, no, this ain't a real you, because you know you can use an AI picture or something. They gonna say, nope, we wanna know it's actually you. Now that's required for a basic access to a website. For what? Control. Now you gonna think twice before you post about your government again, right? Oh, I'm just gonna run a secret channel. It requires Face ID to monitor to watch that. You see?
Got a quick precept. This is 2 Corinthians 2 and verse 11. That Satan should get an advantage of us, but we are not ignorant of his devices.
What's his device? Deception, right? Oh, it's just to help. Well, right now they're talking about making the digital euro the thing, right? Which completely gives up your security. So all this is happening fast. And then, go ahead and read that article, brother. This was published the other day because they were meeting September 12th, being a Friday, to discuss monitoring all messages, right? You know, to protect kids. And it goes into how every message is scanned and checked before you even send it. All those things, including your messages, even private apps like WhatsApp, you know, all these popular apps. This was happening fast. Go ahead.
John, this is the article, and the title is Time is Running Out While the EU's Chat Control Threatens Privacy, Security, and Freedom. It says the European Union is preparing to decide the future of digital privacy. On September 12, 2025, member states had to declare their positions on the Child Sexual Abuse Regulation, better known as Chat Control, with a final vote scheduled for October 14, 2025. If passed, this legislation would require messaging platforms like WhatsApp, Signal, iMessage, and others to scan all private messages, including encrypted ones, for illegal content.
So, and I can say this much because, you know, we use WhatsApp. There's always ads telling you how protected your conversations are. And oh, you can just encrypt it. But guess what? They're looking to say what? We want to monitor all, even encrypted ones, right? Go ahead, keep going.
It says, the goal is to combat child sexual abuse material.
Which that's the front. The front is, child abuse sexual protection. But really it's complete control. Keep going.
In reality, however, citizens across Europe will be left vulnerable to mass surveillance. Their data exposed to abuse by governments or hackers. A dangerous precedent for democratic societies. What Chat Control proposed, the SSAR or SSAR would obligate providers of messaging services to detect and report SISM. This sounds responsible in principle, but in principle it means
This sounds reasonable. It says it sounds reasonable in principle, but in practice, all right, go ahead.
Client-side scanning messages are checked before they are sent, even inside end-to-end encrypted apps. Algorithmic detection, automated tools will search out not only for known illegal content, but also attempting to predict grooming or suspicious behavior.
Again, we all know about Palantir, right? predict future problems, which is what this whole thing happened with Charlie Kirk. That's what this whole thing's all about. Okay, the timing of it all, don't think it's a coincidence.
If I may add, one of his last speeches was him getting into the blackmail coming from those small hats over there with the political people in office over here. He was digging and uncovering things and speaking on it. So that could very well be why he was, taken out.
Right.
He was digging and uncovering their dirt.
Right, because Esau, I firmly believe, he will kill his own. He will do that. You know,
He's done that when he established the Roman Empire. Those Caesars. Matter of fact, even before that, you go into the book of Maccabees, like how those certain kings was going to war with each other. And they was even trying to pull Israel into, hey, can you help me fight Ptolemy? And then Roman Emperor, Greek Emperor Dimitri.
To add to that, when the whole situation happened, they said it was a private jet that had took off and its location and tracking was turned off at the same time after the shooting. And they said that the person that owns that private jet is a small hat. So a lot of people already put two and two together like, that got something to do with it, man. What come to mind, that video where small hats was in their van and they crashed into their man's house. They hopped out and ran and fled and never was caught on their faces. Right there, picked up on the camera.
right? So, yeah, that's it. So, basically, that's what's happening right now in the UK. You understand? And the goal is for all NATO nations to fall in line. And guess what? America's a part of NATO. So yes, eventually this is going to affect you because you still have a lot of Israelites in Babylon with this warped reality of, oh, just because it happens out there doesn't mean it's not going to happen here. Well, guess what? The goal of the prophets is to tell you that it is going to happen here. And what I'm going to show you in the scriptures is that the Lord actually likes to deal with divisions, so to speak, because in the end, he can show who the victor is or who was telling the truth the whole time. Because you got a lot of Israelites, oh, why there's such divisions and all this between the camp. The Lord actually likes it like that for multiple reasons. One, he draw away the undesirables to other camps. And I say good riddance, there's less for us to deal with. Two, in the end, he really shows who's telling the truth, who's a liar. And if there is any of his righteous wheat mixed among that, they're going to be drawn out. So that's actually a part of the scriptures. And all this is happening in the UK, right? Eventually it's going to come to America. All this mass surveillance and all that. Great Millstone and other Israelite groups affiliated with Great Millstone is here to tell you that this is what Revelation, the book of Revelations is talking about. And that final step is going to be that microchip. That's the mark of the beast. And this is how you know we coming close and close. I had somebody. Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
It's the book of Malachi, chapter 3, and verse 16. And it reads, Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that fear the Lord, and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, said the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth the Most High and him that serveth him not.
Right, so when the Lord comes back, when Jesus is coming back, and he already gave us the Holy Spirit, he's making up his jewels, which he's referring to his people, his elect, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, okay, according to your father's lineage, as well as the Israelites scattered on all four corners, right, that may look like other nations. He's making up his jewels by polishing us, Lord willing to be part of that right now. And it starts with repentance, it starts with acknowledgement. Because when you read the scriptures, that's when you're going to read like, man, I did everything. But he said what? He will wink at your ignorance. So now we try to get right. This is him preparing his jewels. But you also have deceitful workers that's in this. So, with that being said, go ahead and give me one. And, oh no, sorry. Deuteronomy 18. And 17.
Deuteronomy chapter 14, and it reads, "And the Lord spake unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth. He shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
Among your house,
And it shall come to pass that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word of my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thy heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord have not spoken?"
Right, so you might say, well, it's all these different Israelite groups. Everybody got their different opinion on the mark of the beast. How do we know who really got it, right?
It says, when a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, don't come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken.
Right.
But if the prophet, it's like good.
Right, so you got to look at, is it actually happening? That's how you know if somebody's lying, right? And let me tell you, nowadays, these different Israelite groups that disagree with the mark of the beast being the chip, because it's more than just the mark, because you got the image too. You got to understand the image to understand the mark. Millstone has been teaching you that the image of the beast goes back to the Roman Empire system, how it was. Today, you can call it New World Order. You're only getting that from Great Millstone. The other groups would just say it's the system, but they don't expound. You got to go further, okay? Complete control over everything, right? From your food that you buying. So, you know, all this, because it all makes sense. So now you see these Amazon stores and you see these people with no registers, right? No registers, no people. You can just go in. There's a lot of them in New York. I don't think we got any around here.
Some Dollar Generals in certain states.
Yeah.
They got clerkless stores. You know, cameras everywhere, and you just pick it up and they just walk out and charge you for it.
How does that work? All monitoring. You pick it up, it tracks what you take. First of all, you walk in there, and then you got to scan your credit card or something. It says, okay, you scan in their hand. And then anything you pick up and leave is going to automatically deduct that from your card or anything like that. When you see stuff like that, when you go to Walgreens and they got those new screens back there, you know, it's basically like a screen. And you can only access it now unless you can show something. Eventually, right now you can still open it, but eventually it's going to require a chip, some type of access. When you see all these things happening, you're supposed to be like, this is all happening and it's all meaning the same thing. Where can we find that? You can find that in the scriptures, Revelation 13. That's what the image of the beast is. It's complete control, okay? That's happening in the UK, it's gonna happen over here. And the day, a lot of y'all ain't thinking about it, but the day you social media influencers, TikTokers, right? Guess what? The day that requires you to scan your face, you're gonna be second guessing. Well, damn, this is my side hustle, or this is my main source of income. Shit. Oh, YouTube, right? They already passing YouTube, same thing. If you get automatically, your channel get automatically clips, you're gonna be restricted certain features. Only way you, because the algorithm thinks you're a child. The way you can disprove that, upload an ID, right? Upload an ID. If you don't do that, then you might say, oh, it's just for the kids, you ain't gotta worry about it. Well, what happens when they change the rules and say you can't upload unless you show your ID? Everybody by now should know it's just a stepping stone to eventually get mass surveillance. That whole, oh, it's not gonna extend any further. That's a damn lie. Okay? That's a lie.
And I was gonna say, you know, all this is what you call gradualism and proof of normality, because what it's doing is slowly grooming, you know, you regular Babylonians into being accepting of it, you know, because the things are changing around you. Things are changing around you know, but you have to be spiritual to be able to see, like, hey, this wasn't here at first, but now it's here, you know, and everything is switching to digital, man, you know. Very, very soon, cash is going to be obsolete, man. You're going to go into Walmart one day and they're gonna say, hey, we no longer take change or cash, strictly card. And soon the tip.
Got a precept right quick if you don't mind. This is the book of Psalms 55. Going back to the brother's point earlier, you know how they come with gradualism, okay? They say in the name of safety, right? But this what Psalms 55 and verse 21 says. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords, right? And that's what the brother was talking about. It's all about control, okay? If you don't worship the image and the beast and his mark, okay, you could be killed, or you going to be killed, okay? Like the brother said, it's all about control. And GMS specifically and his affiliates, we telling you the truth, okay?
That's right. That's how he gets down. And a lot of you probably didn't even know about this news. You probably just now hearing it from us. You see, because they're not gonna make this mainstream. You turn into Channel 2 News now, they're gonna be talking about the Kardashians or some shit. Like, especially this generation, they're dumb, they're done. There's people that's dumb and dumb, but there's people going around and asking people simple stuff like, name me 5 states, what's the country? And this generation can't name it, but then they ask them, what's all the Kardashians? Oh, you got Khloe, you got her, you got her, you got her. So they know all about that, but they don't know arithmetic, they don't know what a country is, they don't even know what a Missouri is, okay? Right, but this is exactly what the society wants them to be. So all these things are being passed right under your noses with breads and circuses while they slowly get closer and closer to more and more control. That's what the image of the beast is. It goes back to the Roman system. I always pull up the article, but to tell you, it went from a democracy to a centralized government where all the power went to the emperor. That's happening right now, except it's going to be in the hand of who? The few, the wicked elite. And you all are just slaves forever running on a hamster wheel to fill their pockets. Oh, we ain't gonna allow that. Too bad, they done already cut off all your access to do anything, to get money, to get any of that, starting from your job, etc. Just look at the pandemic. How many of you all took the Pokey? Now, why did you take it? Well, I took it because whatever your reason was, you lacked faith. Right. Can you give me Proverbs 27 verse, I think.
Guess what? Now you can make anybody.
Exactly.
Yes, the hell you can. Well, you put fruit on them, you know, giving them ultimatums. And now, what, 5 years later, these people coming down with all those symptoms. They seeing the side effects of putting that concoction in their body.
20 points.
Working out with sores from head to toe, scabs, you know, people inner organ functions is failing.
Right.
They just falling out, like so much strange things happening now.
Myocarditis.
Which they said, certain doctors saying it would take from 2 to 5 years to people be dead.
Right.
It's the 5th year.
It's like that army experiment with these devils spraying chemicals over Jake neighborhoods, man. You know, it's coming out today. Now they dying of cancer, you know, having these different kind of diseases and stuff, man. You know? So hey, this devil here, man, he always been targeting and poisoning Jake for years and years, man. You know?
That's right. And when you look at the people that took the jump, whatever you want to call it, when you look at their blood cells, their red blood cells are destroyed. And so that's why these athletes are dying from cardiac arrest, because your red blood cells is what carry oxygen to the rest of your body. You know? And if your heart can't keep up because the blood don't have no oxygen, it's just gonna shut down. Because you're not giving it the air that it needs.
Yeah, all them athletes just dying suddenly. Remember when that was the thing? Let's just sweep that under the rug. Let's not make any connections. It's just weird. They got heart problems all of a sudden.
Right.
And then like the brother said, what they say at the end of it, we did not force anybody to do anything. That's how the devil gets you. That's why we say you got bit by the serpent. Go ahead.
But in Proverbs 24:10, if thou faint in the day of adversity, thy strength is small.
Faint, but he give me Sirach 22:16. But it says, if thou faint in the day of adversity, adversity means hard times. That's literally what evil means, bad times. Okay, you got good times, you got bad times. Right? You're gonna always have both. You're gonna have good times and bad times. What's gonna get you through the bad times? Really experience, faith, right? Your morals, it goes your strength. And it ain't talking about your physical strength, it's talking about your mental strength, right? Your wisdom and knowledge, that's what's gonna get you through the hard times. And when you go through enough hard times, those hard times to you feel like nothing, feel like yesterday, right? That's how you gonna keep your wits about you. So if you took the pokey during the pandemic, for whatever your reason was, you lack faith, you lack strength. No, there's nothing you can say other than you lack strength. I don't care what your reason is. Hey, we got family that took it. We know the reasons they took it. They got every excuse under the book.
They don't believe.
Exactly.
You know, and my mother said, "Will God give you 5 senses?" Okay, well, what about the scripture? Walk by faith and not by sight. What about that? I gotta This is Luke chapter 18, verse 7. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them. Verse 8, I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth? Right, that's a rhetorical question. And the answer to that is, for the most part, no. No. The only people that's going to have faith is the elect. Okay? Because everybody got the answer. You know, while society is going on, you can go to Sugar Fire or whatever and get food, you know, steal food in the stores. Everybody got the answer and believe in the Most High. But the Lord is going to put that faith to the test to see if it's fraudulent or to see if it's real. You know, if it's real, then you're going to have faith. If it's not, then you're going to go to the so-called white man, the devil, Esau, eat him. Oh, yeah, Esau, give me that chip. I want to eat. You know?
Give you some foul shit to eat at that.
Right.
Better off just waiting up on the road.
Right.
And that requires strength. Like the brother said, so if you failed in that day, you lack strength. That's the only way you can put it. Okay, don't try to put the blame on anybody else. Like you had this one guy in the army, he recorded himself with a sign saying, against my consent, something like that. I am not doing this willfully or something like that. What difference does it make while you getting jabbed in your arm? What difference does it make when you tell the world? You still getting it. But you gotta do it. Yeah, you got a sign saying, I am not doing this on my own will or something like that. I do not consent while they putting it in. What difference does it make if you still take it? You can't put the excuse on the army, government, or anybody.
Right.
You can't put it on your family or anybody. The fact is, you took it, whatever your reason is, whether you was afraid of dying, whether you was afraid of losing your job, afraid of losing your woman, afraid of being ostracized. That's a lot of people. Well,
Children, your job.
I don't want to be the only one that ain't, because you know Jake got excuses forever. Shoot, I want to go see a family reunion. I ain't about to be the only one in there that ain't. I'm doing this for my family. Because that's how the devil used. Think about your grandparents. Yeah. You can kill them. Mm-hmm. You go around them. I remember that shit. Because I was in the hospital when all this happened. Your family, you know. People was actually saying, we're going to cancel the gathering because I don't want to endanger my family. You know what I'm saying? Right. So a lot of people did it just to have that reunion, just to have that gathering. Whatever it is, you lack strength. Basically, you lack faith. And the reason why you got to acknowledge that is because the same thing that happened is going to happen again. And you can't do that again. Because when they bring that microchip under the same circumstances but worse, okay, it's going to happen. You're either going to take it or you ain't.
If you look, Esau is creating the perfect, well, the Heavenly Father through Esau is creating the perfect storm for you to just choose. You're going to run the Esau, you're going to depend on the Lord. The videos of people throwing rocks in the water and streams and rivers, And you know how oil and water is, it had a little rainbow effect. They got chemicals in all these bodies of water. So you can't go and fish and get something clean out of the waters to eat. You know, the earth is defiled. You know, they buying up all the farmland. They putting these GMO seeds down. So, you know, you can't really, they making it hard for you to live off the land. So you will have to come to him or depend on the Lord.
Right, I was gonna do a video, but his goal is to create dependency. That's his goal, you know? So like, they got the lab-grown meat, but if they put it on the shelf next to the 100% Angus beef, which it ain't really 100% Angus anyway, and 100% of the time, almost everybody gonna take the thing that's real versus the thing that got a damn label on it that says lab-grown, right? So what do they say? Well, we'll just get rid of it. So now you only got my option. So that's why, oh, the cows gotta go, they're dangerous. You really think that that's for the world? No, that's to control, man. They wanna get the damn meat off the market and say, you're gonna eat our meat instead. Now they control your food. You see? You got that for me, brother?
So Rock 22 and 16, as timber gird and bound together in a building cannot be loose with shaking, so the heart that is established by advised counsel shall fear at no time.
All right, read that point.
As the timber gird and bond together in the building cannot be loosened with shaking, so the heart that is established by advice counsel shall fear at no time.
Right. So a heart established, your mind established by advised counsel, which is the scripture, spirit of the Lord, says what? Shall fear at no time. You see, so where does your strength come in? Your mind, your faith, your wisdom, your understanding. That's why the prophecy is so important. People like to downplay prophecy. Prophecy is everything. Because with prophecy, this stuff ain't gonna catch you off guard. Lord, they making my life hard. Oh, I know why, because in the prophecy, all these things have to come to pass. Meaning there is no real solution. Because Esau gonna offer the solution. But if you know it's prophecy, then you know there's no real solution. There's no going back to normal.
Right.
None of that. They want to get this. If you really think, oh, it's just happening, we gotta do what we gotta do, trust the government so things get back to normal, you gonna take that shit. Because you're not in tune with the prophecy. You keep reading on that.
Right.
Next two verses. 17.
So Rock 22 and 17. A heart settled upon a thought of understanding is a fair pastry of the wall of the gallery. Pale set on an high place will never stand against the wind. So a fearful heart in the imagination of a fool cannot stand against any fear.
So you see, a fool, see that's why we laugh at scoffers, okay? Because we know a lot of you deep down, if you scoffing, it's because you're afraid. You're afraid of something you don't understand, you don't want it to be true, so you're making fun of it. Just like that guy. The Lord put the spirit on him to say what he said was thinking, but it was edifying, right? God made a comment last year in May 2024, and he was listening. This is before Trump now. This is when Trump was just running, right? Before he's elected. When we was teaching, and I remember I was teaching, I said, Trump's gonna get in office and he's gonna bring back the death penalty. The guy wrote on the comment board, he said, you see how stupid these Israelites sound? They said Trump's gonna get in office and he's gonna bring back the death penalty. Guess what? Fast forward, I said, I remember that comment. And I made a lesson out of it. Because what did Trump do? One of the first things. Brought back the death penalty as an option. We talking about it now, right?
Yeah, when the boy got killed the other day, he said, when they killed Charlie Kirk, he said, well, I hope he gets the death penalty.
That's what this is all about.
In the state of Utah, they still hold the firing squad too. So hey, they bringing it all the death penalties back, man.
Guillotine, yeah, all of that, yep.
And that's what this, if you didn't know, that's what all that just happened last week was all about. To push future legislation. We got to bring back the death penalty, but we need a reason. And then next thing you know what happened. We need to bring martial law, bring in the troops. And the crime is down. But if we need the crime is down, we gonna make the crime.
Exactly.
We gonna use these psyops at the perfect time to justify Trump. See, this is why I'm bringing the martial law.
Right.
The cities aren't safe. If you actually think all this is just fucking happening, you're lost.
This devil is a master manipulator. You say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say, and to think it's a coincidence because I remember years ago when I used to listen to Tariq Nasheed, he used to say, like, in these cities like Chicago, it's a lot of these Edomite police officers that's going around doing drive-bys and even potentially like putting on black costumes and things like that, looking like real people who may be going out and doing a lot of these shootings and homicides and everything like that, right? And I don't think it's a coincidence that as Trump is talking about bringing, you know, the National Guard up into Chicago and everything, like before Labor Day weekend, what would they say? There was what? 200-something. Yeah, 200-something shootings and 50 people got killed on Labor Day weekend up in Chicago and everything. So I don't think that's a coincidence. I think that a lot of this shit is staged and set up.
Yeah, kind of. A few years back, when that was happening, I think it was like 257 or 67 people that got shot. One of the police officers' girlfriends came forward and said that because they had a guy in question, and his own mother believed that was her son. And she said she don't know why her son would do something like that. But the police officer's girlfriend came forward and said, no, that was my boyfriend. He's a cop, and they went and got these masks,
Prosthetics.
skin masks,
Prosthetics.
that look just like black people. But that wasn't him. She confessed to that.
And on top of that, he even had they traced his cell phone, so he even had proof. Like, see, I was here, and they like, oh hell no, he's still here. You know,
He gets Second Thessalonians 2 and 9. It's just that's the proof.
It's talks that I forgot who it was, but they asked Trump to send the National Guard here to St. Louis, man.
Okay.
So they setting the stages up for martial law, man.
Yeah. Oh, you know, because when that happened in D.C., you had their own people saying, there's no gangs. What the hell is this guy talking about? But guess what? He had to start in his own backyard, and he said, now I'm going to go to the other major cities. So it's going to come to Chicago, New York next, and it's going to expand. Memphis, okay, get rid of them niggas.
L.A.
Right?
And you
But
know what's funny? All these cities that he is naming is where Jake is predominantly at. Why the hell you ain't sitting up in the fucking Idaho or Utah or
Right,
where your
Seattle,
boy got killed.
where your people at? They the ones doing the mass shootings.
right, or Maine, you know. Maine, you know. Or Utah, like you said.
Or Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colorado.
They said
North
another.
Dakota.
They said another shooting. I don't know if it was a school shooting.
Yeah, it
the
was a
same
school
time
shooting.
it happened when that thing happened with old boy.
So you gotta realize he needs justification. He told Chicago, because the Chicago mayor was like, look, crime's gonna always be here, but it's less than before. And he said that a lot of the National Guards, like in DC, they got nothing to do. Because the crime that's supposed to be there, they spend most of it walking the mall or some shit like that. So Trump said, we sending them anyway. See, that's the whole point. They're gonna send them anyway. If you still think, why would he do that? We don't have, he's gonna send it anyway because it's already written. The prophets already saw it. They wrote down what they saw. It's gonna happen, it's just a matter of getting to it. So truthfully, it really don't matter if that shit is real or not, anytime shit like that happen, because we know the outcome, he's gonna force it anyway. You understand? So that's what really matters most, is that you understand the prophecy. You can, oh wait, I say it's fake. It's not, the outcome's gonna be the same. He's gonna bring the martial law troops. So the fact that we got in the spirit though, we know like if something happened, yeah, I ain't here shit. We already know it's gonna bring the trip martial law and all that. It's really these Americans that's fighting hard to try to prove it because they trying to offset what they're trying to do, but there's no change. So we not fighting against the course of the river. We flowing with it, and we see it. We're just calling it out.
Proverbs 12 and 19. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment.
That's right. And NLT says what? Truthful words will stand the test of time. So you think we lying? You read earlier, how do you know what they're saying is coming to pass? since Great Millstone has been on the highways, you can find the video even earlier back to 2008, Elder Apostle Hart breaking down the name and the mark of the beast being that chip. Mind you, that's over 15 years ago. It wasn't like it is now, so everybody mouthed and laughed, especially Nate, that big mouth is, right? But what's happening now? Oh, we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about this, we ain't talking about that. Even some ISUPK members said, now, we ain't saying, they said it too, we ain't saying that the chip ain't gonna be in. Oh, really? Because you back then, you said, ain't no microchips, it's June, right? And you said if there's ever a chip got nothing to do with it, but now you're saying it might throw a chip in there.
ISUBK said it. All you other Israelite camps said it. Like, so you're all false prophets.
So this is how you know who's telling the truth. So the Lord actually deals with that division. So in the end, you can say, I know one group that's been specifically pushing that and it's happening right now. I'm gonna go listen to them, as you should.
They're telling everybody to kind of be in this lackadaisical spirit, stay here forever and be comfortable when this devil is getting ready to, roll in like a flood, man. While you trying to build cities and communities and get the community together and doing all this community work and trying to get the people comfortable here. This place gonna be turned upside down. Then what they gonna do?
Read that. How you read that?
And this is the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 12, in the GNT.
GNT, a little easy to understand for the viewers, right?
And it reads, wickedness is cowardly in itself and stands self-condemned. Someone with a guilty conscience will always imagine things to be worse than they really are. Verse 12, fear is nothing but the failure to use the help that reason gives.
Right, so fear, what is fear? Fear, like you said, is nothing but the failure to use the help that reason gives, right? Meaning, you're supposed to be reasonable, you're supposed to be calm, that's really what men are for, that's why men really need to be in the household, right? Because when all hell breaks loose or adversity comes, women naturally panic,
right?
And they're supposed to go to the head, which is the man, the one that's supposed to be level-headed, to look at everything and say, oh, it's not a big deal, or here's what we're gonna do. Because women naturally get fearful and they want things to go back to normal and they get shaky when they hear these things, right? So that fear comes upon them, especially gonna come upon all of us when these evil times come, right? So read that again, start from 12.
It says, fear is nothing but the failure to use the help that reason gives. When you lack the confidence to rely on reason, you give in to the fears. I don't know why I keep hopping to the top. You give in to the fears caused by ignorance.
Right. So when you lack the confidence, the strength to use logic, right?
Basically, use your mind.
You give in to the ignorance. And ignorance means, you give in to the fear of ignorance. Ignorance means not knowing. So if you took the pokey, it's because you was afraid of what might happen to you. Well, I don't know what will happen because I could lose my job. Then what I'm gonna do, right? I could lose my wife. Then what I'm gonna do, right? So you're not using reason. You letting the fear take over, and that fear of ignorance, because that's what it is, right? It's not knowing. That's really what fear is. Is people fear what they don't know and what they can't see.
It says when you lack the confidence, like you don't think that your mind is good enough for your own life. You look for another outside source to make the choice for you instead of doing it yourself, or especially relying on your how much now.
And that's where the media comes in. That's where peer pressure comes in. That's where fear tactics come in. The devil knows how to use this. In fact, can you read that book?
And that's the reason why the devil wants you people to be insecure. Insecure, especially the Israelites. I mean, look at what he did to Eve. Eve fucking hates herself. An insecure person, a damaged person, they are more easier to control. Okay? Yeah. Right. They got what you call trauma bonding.
Right,
No.
right.
Cross out, can you get that as a Matthew 22? Trauma, man. You know. Mark, everything.
The book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2, and verse 9.
You gotta remember this who Paul warned about now, which is the wicked Esau, right? Go ahead.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all power and signs and lying wonders,
Lying wonders, right?
and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved.
So how does Esau maneuver? In deceivableness, lying wonders after the workings of Satan. Well, why would they stage a killing like to bring law, to bring justification for law? And guess what? They always know they can play on those two emotional nations, right? We'll use black and white, so-called black and white. That's gonna get the people roused up. Yeah, that's gonna cause some chaos, right? That's the point. Because you 3 hours minding your own business, this man is planning a psyop, using deception, deceivableness, to work on the emotions of the people, get you roused up. And then, but if you don't, because you don't look too close, like 9/11, perfect example, right? Nobody, especially back then, would believe you if you came with anything other than what happened, what the news say happened. But if you fast forward to today, where you say the water is settled and all the smoke was clear, you can look back and say, there was no plane. That was a demolition project, right? And what was that for? Justification to go where? Iraq. Steal. That's why even George Bush, he had that Freudian slip. He said what we did to Iraq, Iran, you know, he had that Freudian slip because he know he was responsible for sending the troops over there to attack this imaginary enemy. Right? And then what did we figure out in the end? Even Trump said there was no weapons of mass destruction. But them bases stayed over there.
Right.
Them, what do you call it? His form of a garrison. Like a base. Embassies.
Oh, yeah.
They stayed there.
Yep. And it was all to get the control of the poppy fields. They control the drugs, right?
Right.
But there's a war on drugs.
Right.
Yeah, you want to take over the products to make these drugs.
This is how
So
the
you
devil
get
gets
paid.
down. This is how the devil gets down. So what's he saying now? Like he said 20 years ago, that devil Benjamin Satan not a real Jew. We gotta stop Iran. Weapons of mass destruction. You said, motherfucker, you said it back in 2001.
Yep.
Bases of men.
Yeah,
He ain't coming with nothing new.
yeah, same old. Well, we gotta stop them. Who knows what they can do to the world? It's to save the world, people. We must take Iran.
That same nigga crying wolf.
Yeah, saying it. So guess what? This is how he moved. So that whole bus thing, right? Not legit. You worked up your man, right? Till you wait till you see the other camera, then you looking. What the fuck? That don't make sense.
She got her hand all up on the seat,
Yeah.
reaching for some shit, and then all
And next thing you know,
Just blood just squirting all
well,
out.
here's what
ketchup
gets me.
squirting out.
There's blood on the seat, boy. There's no blood on the top, but when she get off, there's blood on the seat. How did blood just get on the seat?
We just seen a nigga die by the neck, and it was blood gushing all everywhere,
Right.
right?
And then she was behind like a panel.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, man.
That was rehearsed.
If you get stabbed, that's an instant. Oh shit!
Especially
and
anywhere
fall.
up here.
Or
You know,
grab your neck and she didn't
This
even grab it.
man, this bitch sat there for like, oh shit.
She sat there for like 5 seconds.
10 seconds, and then passed out.
You ain't doing all this movement. But wait, there's blood on the. How did the blood get under your seat?
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
your
How
ass.
did that happen?
Hey, it was this guy
She
who
sat the thing the wrong way.
it was this guy that was all like, oh, is it that time of the month?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and then guess what? They figured out she was already used in a psyop years ago about a Ukrainian. You see, he's sloppy, and I can only say this. I didn't say it at first, but when they showed dude mugshot, I said, I seen his mugshot before.
Yeah.
I can't pinpoint it, but I'm like, I know I seen him before. So I guarantee you, he was used in another operation.
And when you look at how he was acting before, like when you look at the video how the nigga was acting before she sat down and shit, it's like you can tell he putting on an act. Like when I first seen him, I'm like, oh, this nigga got demons on him, right?
Me too.
But then the second that now I rewatch it and all that shit, like you know how Jake try and fake play mad and shit. Nigga walk, and the nigga sat down and thought about it and then got up and then just like I don't know, like hit her neck or something like that or whatever. But
Allegedly, and then
yeah, allegedly.
You shared that video of that other stabbing. Dude got hit. He actually started bleeding. You saw blood just dripping everywhere, man. Versus her, like when you get hit in your jugular, man, it's a hit, then it start coming out. Blood should have been dripping down.
Everywhere.
It should have been everywhere, man.
and then
All on the
I'll say
window.
this, then let's say at first when I saw it, I said there's a demon, right? But once Trump said, I'm going to acknowledge, I said, let's look at it again. Some bullshit. And then sure enough, people found it.
And guess what? The ironic thing is, it's Edomites that's pointing this out.
Exactly.
It's Edomites that's slowing these cameras down, zooming all the way in, really going into detail, pixel by pixel, and showing you where this hoax is, man. It's a psyop, like the brother said.
Deceivableness, lying wonders. This is how he operates, man.
Yes, this is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. Here's the point, when he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay? So these devils always telling lies, creating psyops, trying to put stuff off on Jake. Okay? When they creating the chaos. Okay? And like the brother said, it's about control so they can bring in the order.
Right. So whether you believe us or not regarding it, the order still, the prophecy is still, he's still gonna bring the police state.
Right.
The fact that I went to double look once he said I will be addressing what I said, that must have been some bullshit. Because since Trump will acknowledge it, let's go double check because we just can't take the face value. Yeah, that was terrible.
And it was just directly after they covered
Perfect time.
the Charlie Kirk thing. Oh, but look in the news, this, come on, man. Now they want to go straight to demonize Jake when one of y'all did this.
Yeah.
And to add to that, with the whole Charlie Kirk thing, which we know, hey, he got off, but the shooter that killed him, something ain't adding up with him, because they even said he ain't getting federal charges. Really he should be getting capital punishment for that, and a death penalty. But who knows what they might do for him. But at the end of the day, they trying to spin this narrative on Jake regardless, man. All you niggas want to celebrate they gonna flip it on Jake, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I believe that shooter was just a fall guy.
He was.
That was a professional hit.
Yes, it was.
That wasn't just no little 22-year-old white kid playing with guns type shit.
Did you see the way he came off that building?
Yeah.
The average ordinary person would have been like fumbled off that motherfucker. This motherfucker like Spider-Man on the side of some bitch.
Jumped
You know
out
what
that
I'm saying?
motherfucker like
He took
did
his
this shit
time.
before.
He took his time coming off that building. He
Yeah.
knew exactly what he was
Ranger
doing.
unit shot
Yeah.
type shit.
Jason
To
Bourne.
add to that, once again, we was talking about earlier about the jet disappearing off the radar. Like, people pointing this stuff out, like something's not adding up here,
Right.
man. And literally, people even saying, they literally saying the small hatters got something to do with it.
And then on top of that, when you do a little research about the guy that quote allegedly shot him, right? They were saying that Charlie Kirk embarrassed him. It made him look stupid. Like that's why he went and took his life.
Oh, it had nothing to do with Israel. He was, no.
Because which the video was funny. Of him embarrassing that guy.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, that shit was funny, but.
I asked my boss at work last week just to see what he was going to say, just to see what these Edomites be thinking. I said, hey, you heard about that shooting the other day about old boy? He's like, yeah, He said, you know what, I'm going to tell you, I go hunting all the time, and that was a professional that hit him up. Of course. Like, they know.
They will kill their own. They will sacrifice their own to keep, that's how this society works. You either fall in line with their agenda or they'll take you out.
And he was definitely uncovering the blackmail that's going on with, as small hatters and these puppets over here in America. And Epstein, he was digging. And before Esau let you expose him, he couldn't get you out of here. They had a spotter behind him. Like if you know anything about sniping, you would have a spotter for those long distance, shots. Kentucky windage, all that has to be in, consideration when you taking a shot like that.
Right.
So yeah, that was not no amateur. Just oh, I'm mad, so I'm finna go. No.
Right.
Yeah, no regular little white kid who's mad and upset. He got him a rifle and trying to play Call of Duty. Like, you gotta. That's with a long distance, and even when you playing Call of Duty, like some of that is in there. You gotta shoot it at a certain way because the wind and because of the the height, the bullet dropping and everything.
And a sniper shot like that, your breathing have to be.
Yeah, I was gonna say that same thing.
A certain way for your shot to be accurate.
Right. From that distance, if they say 200 yards or more, wherever your center mass is, first your weapon got to be zero.
Zero, right?
Right, and then you got to have a center mass given reason for the wind, distance, how much more center mass by the time you do that distance is gonna raise up.
Yep.
You gotta, this wasn't some kid that was just used to duck hunting. I mean, it ain't the same thing.
But then they said it was a hunting rifle, right?
And it was a bolt, I think they said, a bolt action
rifle.
weapon.
This is 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 17. But in the following instructions, I cannot praise you, for it sounds as if more harm than good is done when you meet together. First, I hear that there are divisions among you when you meet as a church, and to some extent, I believe it. But of course, there must be divisions among you so that you who have Yahweh's approval will be recognized.
Right. So that's Paul acknowledging the Church of Corinth, right? How they had divisions, right? So Paul was saying that if you got divisions, what's going to happen is one who's got the truth is going to prevail. So that's how it is in this truth. In fact, I wish you got that those two.
Yes. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 15 and verse 3. It says, the Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name.
Right, so you see, the Lord is a man of war. So even on the spiritual level, right, he deals with back and forth, right? Even when Elijah made those 350 false Baal prophets look like a fool, there was a test, okay? He said, gather all your false prophets and we're gonna see whose God is real. And the Lord liked to show out, and that's exactly what he did, okay? He said, whoever can light this, basically, this timber right here, God is the truth. And they hurt themselves, they was cutting themselves, praising, and the prophet was mocking and laughing. That's how you know us mocking and laughing is also a part of it.
Right.
He said, with stammering lips, another time I show. Because Jake is a people, right? And how we reason with the people, we talk amongst each other with the people. So, same thing, right? That's why we make fun of guys with a scoff or whatever. And then when it was time for Elijah time, they couldn't get no success. Elijah said, tell you what, pour some water on it. He said, pour some more water on it. All right? So I'm going to show you what the Lord got to do. And when he called on the name of the Lord, man, that thing turned to damn ashes, man. Why? Because Lord will show out. And then that proved all of them was a bunch of damn liars. Okay? Right. He deals with that. He like, okay, you're going to win. Hey, the prophets, I'm sorry, should I say the man in Ezra who was gathering some poems. Now mind you, those poems are bad. They actually tell the truth. You got one that said the king's the strongest. The other one said wine is the strongest. Hey, whoever wrote that brother was on point, telling the truth. But the Lord said, I'm going to tell you the real truth. And you're going to beat them because it's the truth. Women are the strongest and truth prevails. Right. So much so they was like, yo, damn, bro, you man. So the Lord deals with that. Even now, right? You got one Israelite group telling you mark the beast is a chip, an image, it's a new world order, that's today's turn. Everything they doing is try to get you to here. And you have the other Israelite groups, a lot of them sold out. That's going to be made manifest too. And it's evident. A lot of them just lost, right? But as time progresses, when it comes to, say, like Revelation 13, who's sounding more and more like who? These guys are sounding more and more like us. Even IUIC said, yeah, they got a digital currency and all that other stuff. Oh, now it has something to do with people. Before then, you said it had nothing to do with poor Negroes in the ghetto. It had big nations and small nations.
I mean, the thing about selling out to Esau, he gonna make you look like a fool in the end anyway.
That's right.
So you get paid off, get bought off to teach these foolish ass doctrines just for you to look like an asshole and a liar in the end. And he's still gonna roll on you like you was never on his side. So what did you accomplish other than leading your people to the slaughter, causing them to err and believe in a false doctrine?
And ultimately you dying.
Yeah, kind. And you bring damnation on yourself.
Right, you think the Lord is, but hey, but that just goes to show you the power of the Lord, because the Lord said that the seed of the deceiver are mine. So, I'll go ahead, bro.
I was gonna say, like, you know, the scriptures even say, trust not thy enemy, man. Why would you even trust yourself for anything anyway, man? If anything, trust in Yahweh Shai, man. Because when you side with this devil, man, he has an alternative motive, man. And if you go against the grain, now he gotta embarrass you. He gotta blackmail you, man. Or eventually, you end up dying of some kind of mystery disease, you know? We know how this devil get down, man.
You got this scripture right there?
That Mark 3?
Yeah, read that.
Sorry. This is the book of Mark, chapter 3, and verse 27. And it reads, no man can enter into a strong man's house and spoil his goods, except he will first bind the strong man, and then he will spoil his house.
Can you give me Matthew 13:29? So guess what? Like we talked about the household, right? He already established that it's really the man that's the leader. He's the level-headed one, right? He makes the rational decisions, right? And he makes good decisions not based off emotions. What's the devil's strength? We read this deceiving witness of lying wonders. I can't go to the man. I got to get the woman to get to that, to get the man to go off. That's what the serpent did in the garden. If he would have came straight to Adam, Adam would have said, hey man, kick rocks. What the hell are you talking about? And then Adam would have went and told Eve, you see that serpent? Don't listen to a word he said. So he said, no, I'm going to go to the woman first. And the woman's going to get the man to do it. You see? So, because I know a brother who said that the reason he took the pokey was because of a woman. You know? He said, I only took it because I was trying to get on this cruise. And the cruise, she said the cruise required it, but only when he got on the cruise he realized he didn't need it. So he felt really bad about it.
Woman told me that too. I told her, fuck you in that cruise.
But you see, just like what Adam did, the real sin is the fact that he listened to a woman.
Right, simping.
Yeah, he shouldn't have listened to her. So listening to that woman can lead you down that path. You know, because you got to remember, women like stability. They don't like to be uncomfortable. So their thought process is going to reflect what it is they really think, which is, I want to be secure. So their thought process is always going to be, I'm going to follow the rules to establish, to maintain my stability. So if they told me to take the pokey, I'm going to take it. And the devil knew, as long as that man is in the house, we're going to have less people that's going to take it. Because if a man of the Lord was in the house, and the wife comes, my job telling me to take the pokey, but the man of the Lord going to say, we ain't doing none of that. Here's what we going to do. So they know we got to get that damn man out the house, which is why you see what you see today. It's all about creating a position where fear is going to take over. We want people to live. That's the devil. His strength is deception and fear. And all those who got faith, you got to be dealt with. That's what that insurrection is going to be all about. Because those that stand for the Lord, you're the remaining ones that got faith. And we know that that book, you can influence others. That's dangerous to our agenda. So we're going to come after you. So we know that these laws that they're passing, martial law, these truths, we know that the primary target is the believers of the truth, because what the scriptures say. Why? Because we, in their eyes, you got faith. And for me to run my empire, I don't need faith. I need people to fear me. So I got to get rid of faith, because the only counter to fear is faith. We just read what fear is, right?
How y'all doing?
Hey, doing all right? Go ahead, read that.
This is Matthew 13 and 29, right?
Yep.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, and verse 29. But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together unto the harvest. In the time of harvest, I say to the reapers, gather ye together first, tares and bind them to the bundle, to the burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn.
So he said, what? Let them grow together, right? And the true wheat is going to be sifted out and it's going to be made known. You see? So the Lord is all about, you got this group saying this, you got this group saying that. And I remember Elder Pastor Howard one time, he said, okay, how about this? We're going to see. He said, I know I'm right. Because in the end, that's what it boils down to. We say the mark of the beast is the chip, that the image of the beast is the system. I mean, more than just the system, right? It's the New World Order, right? It goes back to the Roman Empire system. That's that buying and selling. You're going to have that chip. You say, oh no, it ain't got nothing to do with that. At the end of the day, we going to see. And as we read, truthful words stand the test of time, right? So we going to see who's really telling the truth. When the time of trouble came, the pandemic, manufactured trouble to manufacture consent, you had Israelite groups that told you to take the jab.
Right.
And said you'll be a fool not to take it.
You even had that deacon in IUIC, Benchway, I don't know his name.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, how many people in the congregation that took the vaccine? And he like, oh, okay, well, you know this is a prelude for something bigger.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, you know this is damn chip.
And where were you 5 years ago? What sounded the alarm? Oh, you couldn't do that because you have a 501c3 and you can't be on camera speaking against the White House. But now that you see it, say 5 years later, you know you should have took that, right? You guys are false prophets, man. And this is why it's so dangerous to listen to the wrong person. Because they're going to keep silent and they're going to say, oh, well, Sister Sarah took it. Brother Jeremiah took it. They family took it. I don't hear Bishop Daniel saying nothing. It is what it is. I guess it is just genuine and all this. Next thing you know, the bodies are piling up. 5 years later, should have took that. You know?
All their DNA is checked.
While Grant Millstone said, hell no. And even Elder Pastor Hart said, if you even thinking about taking it, don't show up to the camp. Okay? So our stance was firm. But guess what? Now you got people regretting. And you can look and say, now I know who's really telling the truth, who's really about it, and who's sold out. Okay? So you got ISUPK, no cowards. You know, they can look all tough. I'll say, did you take the jab? Yeah, I took the jab. Oh, I thought you were no cowards.
Right.
You see, now I ain't on a carnal level, but they the carnal ones. We won't accept carnal. You gotta be this and that. The jab come, hey, everybody get in line. Better take that jab. I thought no cowards.
Right.
See, I thought the white man, the devil, this, that, and that. And then here comes the jab. Yeah, we're gonna take that because he wants us to live. That's what, cause they're gonna say, well, I was following Junior Yohana. And that's what Junior Yohana said. The white man wants you to live. If this was fake, trust me, he wants you to live. He wanna take that nigga bought and sold. And I was following Junior Yohana. What the scripture says, cursed be he that trusteth in me.
Right. And I was gonna say, ain't that the same group that said using wisdom is for cowards?
Yeah.
Hey, we was in the mindset of using wisdom, as Yahushua told us. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. So we moving around this captivity with wisdom, dog. You know? We ain't moving off carnality, man. ISUPK is moving off carnality. You up in the middle of the park, up here doing training exercises, you know, and here it is, Trump already cracking down. And you see that now, y'all asses definitely gonna keep the ministry blamed for that. Well, I got a quick precept. This is a quick one. 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. But Yahweh had not given us the spirit of fear, but the power, power and love and of a sound mind. You know, the Lord He ain't give us the spirit of fear, man. Of fear what man can do to us, man. You know, a lot of you jakes that took that jump shot. You was afraid of what this disease can do to you, man. Right. Here it is, the Lord created medicine out of the earth. Where's your faith at in that, man? Okay? All it takes is
taking these herbs and prayer, man. And the Lord can heal you. He extended Hezekiah's life, man. Come on, man. It ain't nothing hard for the Lord to do, man.
Yeah. And they already told you up front that it won't stop you from getting the dang thing anyway.
Right. So what was the point of even taking it?
Yeah.
See, like, it was just a deaf Jewish concoction from the beginning.
And guess what? What the brother just read. He said we ain't got the spirit of fear, but a power and of a sound mind. We talked about the mind. It's all about being strong up here. That's all that matters. I don't give a damn how many backflips you can do, how many jumping jacks you can do, how much you can bench. Okay? I don't give a damn if you're the best, you know, with the slingshot, you're the damn best sharpshooter and all that. If you don't have the strength up here, which is your faith, you're gonna fold in that.
Doesn't mean anything.
In fact, most people, bodybuilders and all this other stuff, they make up for what they lack inside because it shows them out. That's Esau Edom. He live and die by that sword because he know inwardly he's a fearful, snake, weak-minded, weak individual. That's how he sold his birthright. Hungry for a little minute, I'm gonna die. I don't care about this birthright. I'm gonna die. What if I'm gonna die? And Jacob was like, nigga, you just told me, nigga. But that's what he did, showing you how weak he is. So to make up for it, he's a military. He made a little weight. He joined the army. Because you know, inwardly, he's just a weak punk.
Yeah, kind of, if I may add, a couple of years back, even before the hokey pokey began, okay, this devil killed Gates even said they're gonna try to control population through inoculation. Okay? I mean, they put it out there.
TED Talks.
That's the TED Talk. Yeah.
Right. And you guys, short-term, right? You guys, short-term memory is not working. Selective memory.
Oh, he was just playing.
Like this motherfucker got on camera and said the world is overpopulated.
Right. Right.
So what the hell do you think that he mean by that? Like what is he trying to do? And then you got your black ass in line with that old little cheap ass flimsy mask, you know, and got stuck in your arm.
Right. We gonna give you a Krispy Kreme donut, or Budweiser, or some weed. Come on, man.
A burger.
Wings.
Y'all
A
ain't
goddamn
even
Whopper.
That's the reason why they took the George Guidestones down.
Right.
Because they were saying they want to depopulate.
That's their first rule on them. You see, and it's, like I said, you took it because you lack strength, you lack faith. Whatever your reason was, you didn't have faith in Yahweh when Yahweh shot. And you lacked it, which means you got to build up your faith because it's coming back in a big way. And you got to have the strength to stand. If not, nothing you do matters. Okay? You can't escape it. Well, I'm going to leave America. Well, I'm going to go do this. Well, I'm going to go do that. It's still going to come to your door, man.
Because the whole agenda is to try to have global domination. So wherever you go, you're going to be faced with this atmosphere.
Just real quick, let's go to what we all are talking about right now. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 14, and it reads, "Wherefore hear the word of the Lord, ye scornful men, that rule this people which is in Jerusalem. Because ye have said, we have made a covenant with death, and with hell are we at agreement. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, it shall not come unto us." Right? They say, oh well, yeah, since we done made this deal with Esau, death, because Esau is the harbinger of death. You know, yeah, we gonna be good in that day. You know, and this is what the Lord said. It says, "And under falsehood have we hid ourselves. Therefore thus saith the Lord power, behold, I lay in Zion for a foundation, a stone, a tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a sure foundation. He that believeth shall not make haste." Right? And, right. You had a lot of our people that they made haste. Now instead of just sitting down like, okay, catching hell, or even if you was sick, you know, you had brothers. Tazwan was sick. He said he was at the point that he thought he was gonna die, and he made a choice. I believe in Yahweh Shemiah Shai. This is it. I'm ready. And then the Lord healed him, and he right here, right now, strong.
That's right.
You know? Same thing with me. Yep. It says, It says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled. Matter of fact, I jumped the gun. It says, judgment also will I lay to thy line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hell shall weep away the refuge of lies, and the water shall overflow the hiding place, right? So yeah, so all those lies are being dismantled, you know? And all those lies are just temporary, man. You know, and now everybody is seeing the bitter but free in truth. Okay? Because hey, all you children, really you can't even call you motherfuckers in America adults. You know, you just fucking children in adult bodies. You know? Hey, all y'all gonna have to accept reality. It says, and your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, ye shall be trodden down by it. From the time that it goeth forth, it shall take you, for the morning by morning shall it pass over, by day and by night, and it shall be a vexation only to understand the report. It should be a vexation. You know, like the scriptures say in 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter, you shall be in a pitiful case when you have loathed the law of the Heavenly Father. You know? And all you people out there just playing games, laughing, kiki, and ha-ha, thinking everything funny.
Looking for the next viral moment.
That's right. Oh yeah. Christians destroy Hebrew Israelites on John 3:16. You know, whatever.
Galatians 3 and 28.
Are you too? Yep. Oh yeah, they're teaching our false doctrine, this, that, and other. You know?
Here's my question. Everybody want to argue about salvation. Well, let's address the prophecy. You got the truth on that. Okay? Because ain't no Christian church teaching you that, teaching you what we teaching you. So then that common sense should say, well, oh wait, you got it, right? Amos 3.
Yeah, Con. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3 and verse 7. And it reads, surely the Lord God will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto his servants, the prophets.
Can you read that in NLT?
Con. Baba Kushar, Salakia. Amos 3 and 7. This is the book of Amos 3, chapter 3, 7 in the NLT. It says, indeed, the sovereign Lord never does anything until he revealed his plans to his servants, the prophets.
Right. So we read, how do you know who's really telling the truth? You go off what they say. And then you let time do the speaking. You let prophecy do the speaking. Right? And for all you people who want to debate Israelites, you say we're so wrong, but how is it that we got this knowledge of the future, right? And understanding of Revelation? You don't know Revelation.
Without going to seminary school.
Yeah. You don't, yeah, 'cause that's what,
Cemetery.
right, that's what they would say. Oh, all you got to do is go to a seminary school so you can learn. But wait a minute, the scripture says it's free. So if one school got it, it should be, the whole world should know it, right? Why you got to pay to get this secret knowledge? It's bullshit.
With you Christians, you take everything as face value, man. Just like before Kevin, we was going into Deuteronomy 23 and 7. A Christian would read that and straight be like, see right here it says, nah, boys, Edomite.
Oh,
Gotcha.
It's better to marry than to burn.
I had a Christian pastor tell me one time, he was like, the book of Revelation, the UN in and NATO wasn't around there. Well, of course, that's why it's called the book of Revelations.
Right.
I'm like, come on,
revealed.
man. Yeah.
I'm explaining to him that
And it's a prophecy.
Right.
So it's a future prophecy.
you telling them about, the thermonuclear missiles. What do you mean it's thermonuclear missiles? It's a lion and it's shooting fire out of his mouth. They gonna really take a face value and go with it.
They really think that Revelation is a book of mystical creatures off the Legends of Zelda and shit. Like, you motherfuckers ain't got no answer to prophecy in the scriptures at all. And y'all would say like vocab. You say New Testament prophecy is, you're agnostic about it. Well, why are you agnostic about it? Ain't you supposed to believe in the scriptures? If the Lord is really dealing with you, wouldn't you know that You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you have a breakdown for the prophecies in the New Testament, but you don't? Because you know what I'm saying?
Goddamn
Yeah.
You're not the one.
You're not it.
So all this is happening, right? The understanding of what it is can be found via the prophets, starting with our apostles, elders, great millstone, and their elders. This is how you know who got the truth. So all this happening, like in the UK, is coming here, man. And I can't wait. All these Israelite celebrities, I can't wait for YouTube says, give us an ID. We're gonna see how popular your debates are. We're gonna see how popular all that is. And you better not be doing no more debates now. You saw what happened, right? Oh, all the cameras, everybody hang around. Yeah, you easy target for somebody to say, I might do the same thing to that nigga, you know?
These niggas.
Yeah, what the hell with this nigga? Wow.
Ain't no catching them.
You know?
Captain Tazariak, you in the middle of New York or wherever they be, people surrounding you and y'all debating. Somebody can easily just run up on you and take you out, man.
See, that's what
No
you
wisdom.
get. But doing all that foolishness, it ain't the time for that.
Y'all got a big crowd around. Nigga can just get a trench coat and, you know what I'm saying? What's that? I can't even remember what movie. Nigga just go, pow, and walk the fuck off.
Get your hand on my pocket.
There you go. Yeah.
You know that. You know that. You know that. But that's how, you know, this is how you know who's really telling the truth. I think. You know what? You got LT on there. That's the
Only debate you niggas better have now is on Zoom.
Yeah, so eventually YouTube's gonna require ID for uploads and all that. And for all you guys to keep seeing, to keep doing your contentious teachings and the debates, that's when that reality's gonna come to you, right? That this ain't no joke, that this man is making moves. So you guys think, oh, that's the UK, anyway, we got this debate set up. This person's gonna debate if the Lord, you know, wears socks. This other person gonna debate, you know, if the Lord came in the flesh, this guy gonna debate, you know, if we can eat meat. Yeah, it's gonna be real entertaining. Here comes YouTube. We need ID verification. Then that's when it's gonna be, man, what the hell is this? Hey y'all, they moving quick. Shut the YouTube down. Guess what? Too late. Oh, I know what I'm GMS. And they on that block. Hey, go to the sellers and buy. We ain't got time. You see, you guys don't realize what time you're in. You got the Genesis Israelites. They think they got next. And if it's one thing they always have in common, they stop going out teaching.
Right.
They too big for that now. Now it's we living off our little congregation now. We ain't gotta go out. Y'all go out. Yeah, we got big plans. We gonna be doing all this martial law. Shut that shit down. Oh, y'all guess what? YouTube shut it down. Oh damn, what we supposed to do? Let's go find Great Millstone. Didn't make it to camp because the Lord put the spirit on them to go somewhere else. Okay, they just teaching locally now. We might do that. We pay for something. We can't upload. We might just teach locally till the Lord get us off the street completely. You know, it's like, and that's how it's gonna be. While you all scrambling in fear because you didn't understand the prophecies to build up that strength to say, you know what, the Lord already said all this is gonna happen, so I'm ready. That's why He said live as a pilgrim, because you just always watching. Yep, you like, yep, any day now, any day. And then once it happens, drop it, let's go. Don't worry about that. We already discussed this. We already talked about it. Let's go. That's like, you know, running your house and all that. If you ain't got no understanding, you're going to be caught last talking about something. Well, what we going to do? Let's ask leadership. Well, leadership should already told your ass what to do in these situations. You going to say something about that?
Just a few minutes ago, I was telling these two brothers that the older Jake that was over here, he came and he told me. Now, I don't know if he knows what he's talking about, but he said that a police officer just told him that martial law is coming into the state of Missouri, and there's a 10 o'clock curfew downtown now. So I don't know if he knows what he's talking about or not. But just to land back off of what you're talking about now, that we in these days are evil, and that this martial law is a real thing, because you know they're supposed to be going to Memphis, so it's here.
I was gonna say, like earlier, I think it was the railroad CEO had asked Trump to bring National Guard to St. Louis, man. So the stage is being set, man. And yeah, I see why they'll bring curfew, because it'd be a bunch of little niggas right there in that park right there causing havoc, man. You know? So yeah, the police be right there too, right there not doing a damn thing, man.
And it starts with curfew.
That's why they making all these, all them the centerpieces in the
Barriers
street.
in the
yeah,
street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he set this up for
Yeah.
martial law. You
Sure.
only have one straight way to go. Ain't nobody running out doing all these shit these motherfucking little YNs be doing and skirting out around. They
Think
be
about
doing
it, 10
that.
o'clock, there's no party. People can wait till 10 o'clock to go out. That's about to be put to a stop. No more mirth in the streets. All you niggas and you women want to shake your ass, you normally wait till 10, 12 o'clock to go out. Not anymore, shut it down. Shut it down. You got to go out at 6 o'clock and be back in the damn house or else. And you know Jake gonna rebel at first. What the fuck are you talking about? I can't go out. They gonna pull
We
out
got
their
switches.
batons.
We ain't fucking.
First nigga get smacked.
See if it's a joke then. See if it's a joke then. It's a joke. It ain't no joke, man. Did I tell you to get something to top?
Yeah, Ezekiel 33.
Oh, yep. Go ahead, read that.
We all take part
Go ahead,
now.
read that.
This is Job 8 in verse 8. I'm gonna read it in the NLT. Just ask the previous generation. Pay attention to the experience of our ancestors.
And this is going off of what you said about guys who sold out, how in the end you're going to all meet the same fate. Embarrassment, shame, and if you don't repent.
Just ask the previous generation. Pay attention to the experience of our ancestors. For we were born but yesterday and know nothing. Our days on earth are as fleeting as a shadow. But those who came before us will teach you. They will teach you the wisdom of old. Can papyrus reed grow tall without a marsh? Can marsh grass flourish without water? While they are still flowering, not ready to be cut, they begin to wither more quickly than grass. The same happens to all who forget Yahweh. The hopes of the guiltless evaporate. Their confidence hangs by a thread. They are leaning on a spider's web. They cling to their home for security, but it won't last. They try to hold it tight, but it will not endure. The godless seem like a lush plant growing in the sunshine. It branches out, spreading across the garden. Its roots go down through a pile of stones. It takes hold on a bed of rocks, but when it is uprooted, it's as though it never existed. That's the end of its life, and others spring up from the earth to replace it. But look, Yahweh will not reject a person of integrity, nor will he lend a hand to the wicked.
Right, so, got exposed, out of there. Just that quick, not even a contender, no more breakdowns. It stopped, it ceased right there.
All about that.
Exactly. He didn't break down a single scripture after that. That's how fast the Lord can get a nigga out that's acting. Because he said after the fact, I was always like this.
I never changed.
Yeah, it's just the camera is, hold on. Let me remember who I'm playing. All right, what did I say yesterday? I gotta make sure. Because, lying is difficult,
Yeah.
Lying complicates things. Because you gotta remember, like that phrase, when a tangle web we weave and we practically see that one lie turns into two, it turns into four, etc. And eventually you forget. That's how, and then you leave breadcrumbs. That's how people come later and say, well, wait a minute. Then you say, well, if you just stick to the truth, you're clear. But when you act like that, it's hard to remember, man, what the hell did I say? Yeah.
And then Elijah's dissolves away. And all you left with is what the truth.
So now what is Alzar known as? The streamer. So you see how fast the Lord could just uproot somebody who's pretending, right? That's gonna always happen to anybody who's sold out. In the end, you're gonna look like a fool, and it's gonna be found out you're a liar. But that whole time you was living good. You had your fun. Like Apostle Taylor, you doing all this, making millions.
Oh man, threatening people. If you come against me, the Lord is gonna kill you.
There's some heavy hitters in here.
Telling people to give up their 401k, retirement, empty out your PTO days, and what the hell?
There's a spirit of stinginess.
You got offshore's account. You hide. And you already know, he like, who gonna stop me? I got this big establishment. I'm looked at as a pastor. I got millions. What's ever gonna happen to me? The Lord already made the move on him. He just finally got him. He got him. Now he's out of there. Another hypocrite down.
Because they got a saying, he delusional thinking that Esau is going to just let you run him up and play the people and play him. Oh no. He's going to set you up to be a fool, and then he's going to take you down, make you look like a fool. Just a little bit more of verse 22. Those who hate you will be clothed with shame, and the home of the wicked will be destroyed. Get out of there, man. So, hey, you might as well take the suffering and endure and let the Lord exalt you.
Right?
Shoot.
Right, because you thinking, well, I made an agreement. You know, we good because I made an agreement. I'm giving Esau exactly what he wants. I'm picking up trash. I'm doing all this for the community. Is that stopping them from bringing up Joy Morgan? You know? No. And what did they call you? A quiet cult.
Yeah, God.
And saying what? So here it is, you doing all this for the community, and you still being labeled, yeah, that's a front. You know? But you like, well, we just gonna keep doing good things for the community. We're gonna show them. Esau, he ain't gonna roll on us. You know, I'm sending my men and women to get their name legally changed.
Right.
I'm sending my men and women to get legally married. I'm sending them to Esau. We got a deal. We ain't gonna be touched.
Right.
And then what the devil was trying to do, he's trying to set up Palantir, which is basically predictive behavior, like Minority Report. The monitoring for the messages in the UK is about what? Monitoring your messages are seen before it's even sent, is screened, right? More control, and also predictive grooming. That's the word. But really, while all this is happening, what is it all about? Predicting suspicious people who can say something, right? Monitoring with the PSYOP, with the bus. Oh, we need to develop criteria. Dread's gonna be a criteria for a high threat level, and then they're gonna throw fringes on there. Right? They're gonna say fringes too. So everybody, you walk around with your fringes and dreads, you gonna be high alert. Get them.
You can have a bunch of niggas, oh man, well, it's all because of my hair, man. Yeah, that's why the apostle and elders tell you to cut that shit off, nigga. Like, that's not in our damn customs. Because, yeah, most of you niggas who do got dreadlocks are violent motherfuckers.
You got a feminine spirit on it.
Yeah.
Guess what? Trump already gave ICE IRS data, so they know your work, they know all your taxes, they know all that. So is it hard for them to go search Ben Israel? Okay? Because if you didn't know, to be a part of IUIC, you have to legally change your name to Ben Israel. So now they can find you easily. Oh, you got the fringes on, we can spot these people easily. Right? And you think it's a joke. Right? It's not a joke. But you're thinking they can't do that. My bishop made a deal with the devil. We covered. Yeah, right. He's gonna show you ain't nobody safe. And if anything, now they can easily find your ass.
Right.
Easily. Right?
Wait, no, we gotta like Esau. He giving us a check.
Yeah, that's the next thing.
Yeah, fuck out of here, man.
That's the next thing. Wait a minute, we teaching all the doctrines he told. The deal was we take the name away. We say you can't hate Edomites. We teach your hell.
Right.
We ain't gonna be touched. I made an agreement. Trust me, y'all. Trust me. And that goes in the prophecy of Zechariah. Well, eventually they gonna pick up a weapon and say, you sold us out. And they gonna come after you too. That's in the scriptures too. And you're gonna have to escape. Because Bishop Nathaniel already said he had a dream that they had bats. It's about to come to reality. Okay? They gonna be like, God damn it, you sold us out. And get him. You know, and then he gonna fuck out of here. You know?
Let me go to Africa.
Guess one day they close the doors.
Close the door.
He gonna try to run to Africa, and African Shack gonna be waiting on him.
You told us the mark of the beast wasn't the chip. You know, you're gonna be like, damn, where can I go? Yeah, this is very real. It's gonna happen. You think it's a joke?
Man, Jake ain't shit. Because, like from what you said, there's a lot of niggas in the congregation like, whoo, I'm glad the chip ain't the mark of the beast. Woo. I mean, I can go take it now and eat and still get saved. You know? And you gonna have to pay for that, man, because the scriptures talk about, you know, if you don't warn a man,
Ezekiel 33.
Right.
Go ahead, I'll talk one.
Ezekiel 3.
trying to bring it up.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 33, verse 1, it reads, "And again the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he bloweth the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchmen see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand."
Right? So you see the Lord is breaking down, right? In fact, Mariella, can you get 1 Corinthians 14 and 8? He's breaking down to you the Lord's methods. This is how he moves. Could the Lord just bring it, and it is what it is? Yes, but he has a process. His process is he first wants the word to go out, right? Because we read before he do anything, he lets his prophets know. The prophets go, let the people know. Prophets at one point were known as seers, which means a visionary. One who saw the vision, they saw, so then they go and tell, right? The idea is for you to elect, really, to hearken and gird yourself properly. All these things is happening, like I said, it's happening in the UK now. It's happening now, okay? Just because it ain't here yet doesn't mean it's not happening. It's happening right now.
Right.
They had a meeting on the 12th discussing right now to monitor all messages. Before it's sent, it's monitored. So you being tracked, everything you say. You need a photo ID to even run. You see how they tracking everything? They're linking all your accounts to you. And then what we're saying is that the mark is going to be the final stamp. That's how you physically link yourself to a digital database. You keep going on.
God. Verse 7. "So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth and warn them from me. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul."
So that's for all of you who watch and ask, so why y'all out here? That's the reason. We were given understanding of what's to come to pass, the prophecy that the prophets wrote, and the words of the Lord. We were given the understanding, therefore we say it, we teach it. Right? Well, ain't nobody listening to y'all that's okay if we just read it. And they supposed to, because the Lord want them to remember it, right? Like that one guy. They talking about some Trump gonna bring back the death penalty. Who said them Israelites? Can you believe that? That's how stupid. And then it comes, oh shit. You know? So that when that judgment comes, they can say, you know, because there's Ezekiel talking about we're gonna be destroyed for worship Queen of Heaven, Jeremiah. Can you believe that? Yeah, he talking about something. The Egyptians gonna come and fuck us up or whatever. Oh, really? So one of them is gonna be like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this no more. Oh, you actually believe him? Yep, I'm packing my shit up, getting out of here. Fuck you. And then here comes the Egyptians. So when the Egyptians come or whoever's coming, they thinking the Lord did say it was gonna happen. So before they get judged, that remind that we were told this. That's how the Lord operates. Right. You got that, 1 Corinthians?
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 8. "For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? Right. So likewise ye, except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken?"
Right, because you know, in the ancient we had to blew the trumpet for. We had war, we also had assemblies, etc. So people would have to hear, we would hear the trumpet to say, Okay, I see what it is. And it was just like any ancient. You had a high tower, whether it's a bell or somebody with a trumpet to alarm the people. Like today, they got alarms for tornadoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You already know to prepare yourself, right? The Lord said the same. We got to all be saying really the same thing, but there's going to be distinction. But it's going to be made known who's really telling the truth the whole time. So that thing in the UK is huge because the idea is for all NATO nations to enforce that. Not just the European, but all NATO nations. And guess what? America's a part of NATO, right? And it's like 100 countries are part of NATO. So that's the idea. They're going to set the standard for one, but spread it to all. That's the beast. You see, that's the beast. And they all will have to worship the beast. Whatever the beast says, that's what the people got to do. No more, this country does that, this country does this. It's whatever this country does, all the countries do. And America is the whore that sit on the beast. So she's going to call the shot, so you best believe it's going to come here. It's definitely going to come here. Like I said, Trump is starting in his own backyard for police enforcement. That's what he wanted to do anyway. He's going to get the big cities next, Chicago, and then New York, and then that's going to be for all. And they're going to pull up some data. Since they've been there, crime is reduced such and such, therefore all states is going to have National Guard troops and all that. Okay? That's what this is all about. You can't say, well, I'm over here in fucking, what's a city? I'm over here in New Mexico City. I'm good. Crime is good. They're bringing them there too. All they got to do is pull up some old statistics and talk about anything, drugs, whatever, and they coming. Okay? Don't think they need a valid excuse.
Right.
They coming.
Jeremiah 5 and 29.
Third.
And it reads, shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means. And my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof?
Right, so the Lord said, you got false prophets telling lies, and the people love it. People love it. The priest doing whatever the hell he want. But the Lord said, but in the end, what you gonna do? Because in the end, these things are gonna come to pass. So what you gonna do? Well, it's all right, because I imagine a wall of lies. These wall of lies will protect us. All who join in, protected by the wall of lies. The Lord said, when that overflowing scourge shall come, which is the truth, it's going to hit you like a ton of bricks. Okay? Just like, women. In their crime, you can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them, right? Like, in that case, how was I going to give me Ecclesiastes 12?
Ecclesiastes 12.
You can't tell them, listen, you should really use this time to dedicate it to one man. Practice chastity, right? Because you got this whole world getting all this attention. Don't take the bait, and you should really dedicate your body to one man. You should dedicate your body to one man, have your children young and all that, do it the right way. You're telling her this in the midst of all this attention she getting. She at the peak, right? She at the young age. Her body is banging. She getting all this attention. You think she just want to give that to just one? No, she want to give it to multiple, right?
Right. She's getting a benefit from doing so. She's getting free meals, maybe free trips, finessing these men out of their money.
And you're telling them, in the long run, you know what's going to happen. If you don't do that, in the end, you can fall victim to anything. You might catch the high five. Right. You might end up getting children by men who I just wanted to hit. Right. And now have to stick with for the rest of your life. Or you might just face the fact that there's always new competition. There's a woman that turns 18 every day. There's always young, prospering, and that's what a lot of models, they have to get their reality check. Because they're so famous or whatever, but you get 29 or something, eventually they say, yeah, you're just not what we're looking for. What? Yeah, they're gonna be like, look, honey, there's always new, thriving, young competition in the market every single day. So eventually you get their reality that looks fake. So in the end of all of that, what you gonna have? That's what you should use your time now. And that's the same with us, right? But it's like, in the midst of all of that, trying to get through, it's gonna be damn near impossible because they distracted by all the pleasures. But in the end, it's gonna hit her like a ton of bricks. Damn, what am I left with? What did all my being fast in my 20s leave me with now? Either by a bunch of kids or a bunch of men that don't like me, that don't actually like me, and now I'm struggling. Or I'm used up, and now nobody wants me. I got tattoos all on my body. You're basically gonna be a Brittany Renner or whatever the bitch. She's through. Now she went to Muslim, she dropped that because she's so desperate now that she's trying, she outed herself. She told the world who she is. And since she's been at Harlan, now she's trying to get back in because she had such a fast life. Now she's like, well, now who gonna want me? Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you? You didn't think about the long run. You just said, I don't have to worry about that because right now I'm good. But what's gonna happen in the end? And that's what the Lord is telling the prophet. You liking these lies, right? You keep putting off the chip like it's nothing. But what you gonna do when it comes?
You made lies your refuge. And eventually, hey, the devil gonna come to collect. And you done build up all that interest. You know, he lets you get by with it. He keep letting you get by. You know, you keep saying in your mind, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. And then boom, it's time to pay up. Boom, $100,000 worth of debt.
Since you said that, Sirach 5:2. You go ahead, bro.
Which one is that? Start at the top.
Yeah.
God. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12.
Ecclesiastes.
Oh, it's Ecclesiastes, Salakia. Ecclesiastes 12. This is the book of oh man, I can't stand that smell. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, starting at the top. It says, remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come nigh, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
Right? Why it says in your youth? Because Scripture tell you the glory of a young man is his youth, right? When you in your peak strength, okay, you're horny, okay, you're living good. Those are the hard ones to get through to, right? Because they like, what the hell are you talking about? You basically like a Travis Hunter, okay? A big dummy simp with a grin on his face, and he can't be, no one can tell me nothing. I know what I'm doing, okay? I'm a young athlete. I got a prosperous future. This woman loves me. And here you got all these people telling them, you a fool if you do this. But he like, I ain't listening to nobody. I know what I'm doing. I got millions lined up. And what's gonna happen in the long run? He gonna regret it.
And it ain't even taking long. Two weeks, maybe tops. Divorce. I want everything.
You gotta be married for at least a year so you get alimony.
She's playing it.
Get the kids though.
She's playing it. Easy bait, right? Then that just happened to somebody else, right?
Hey, Brittany Renner and PJ Washington.
Right. Now why is he dealing with that bitch? Oh, she looks good.
Right.
In the long run, you think he would. I wish I never touched that one. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that just happened to another basketball player.
Oh yeah, Anthony Edwards.
Then this wife, and now how much you gotta pay this bitch?
He already paid her a lump sum of money.
No, you talking about the football player.
Football.
Yeah, in Miami.
Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
And they ain't been married but a year.
Yep.
You see? And now you
Just made the cutoff.
50K.
Man, you
So-
niggas is stupid, man.
But guess what? You can't tell them nothing.
They thirsty.
I'm a football player. Man, this woman, look, you can't tell what happens in the long run. You're gonna like a fool. Just like in the truth, right? oh, microchip. This is before there was even no real discovery on that, right? Especially back in the 2000s. That's why Nate was saying all the funny things under the world. Now he look like a damn fool. Ain't no microchips. It's June talking about some microchip. He goes by the lamb and all that. Yeah, he said all that because he honestly thought, man, if that do come, we'll be way long gone before that comes. So just like in this truth, right? Like, you have to make the decision to say,
they are gone. They gone in the mind.
you have to make the decision to say, especially back then, it looked like Esau was never going down. It looked like nothing was happening. You have to say, you know what? I believe what's written. I'm gonna change my life now. And a lot of you like, this year makes 14 for me, so I was 20 when I came to the truth. You don't think throughout those 20s I was thinking the same thing every young man was thinking? You don't think my parents, all these people was telling me the same things? But what if? What if you're wrong? What if this? What if that? Don't you want this? You don't think I've had to go through that? Or all of us have to go through that still? It's the sacrifice to say, I believe what's written, so I'm gonna move accordingly. You know, you don't think we could have used our own decisions? If it was probably up to me, my own decision, I wouldn't even be in America right now. Well, because I could have just said, I'm a young man, I'm free, I'm out of this motherfucker. I'm gonna go do what I want to do. You see?
Blackfish almost had me.
Oh yeah.
I told the trainer. And I seen the boss in the car. He was like, "Don't get your ass up and leave." I was like, I ain't going to."
So you see,
Boss
that's the spirit of the
don't
Lord.
deliver us.
It's the spirit.
Yeah.
See, I feel the same way as you, because I got a friend of mine who I used to talk to, hanging with out in the world and everything. He live in Colombia, South America, and for a 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a villa and all that shit with it, he paying as much as I'm paying for my goddamn 1-bedroom apartment.
I'd have
You
been
know?
there with him too. Columbia would have been my place to go to. You know, get the hell out of here. But it's like, the decisions I made or we made up to the point is, well, let me consult with the scriptures first. Other like-minded men, do you think this is a good idea? You consult with somebody in the world, they're gonna say, sure, man, what's stopping you? What's stopping you from? Just like the women. Have fun, girl, just be safe. You enjoy your peak, you're supposed to have fun.
It's your body,
Dedicate.
your choice.
You want to have all your fun before you get it in. I mean, before you get married.
It was some older Eve with a bonnet, big ass eyelashes on. I think it was on Instagram. She talking about some, man, I'm tired of seeing you young girls out here talking about some you in love and you finna get married. Go be a hoe. He's like, go hoe it up. I'm like, this thing.
And that's the advice from me.
Yeah.
Right? And you see, it's because before you, the world is like the world is yours. So it takes you to sacrifice and say, I'm not gonna take this bait. I'm gonna follow the scripture, and I'm gonna move accordingly.
Right.
You know?
And nobody took the message from fucking Scarface. Everybody seen the movie, but what did you get out of the movie? At the end, he died. You know, he lost everything. He lost his sister, his mother, his best friend, and his own life. And so, who inherited all that money? Somebody else came in and stole that shit. So, and you got nothing. Just like you buy the women guy, you got nothing. You thought that it was gonna be, it's always gonna be basically a simp out there. I had a woman I used to deal with. Of course, it was a damn nigga woman. It was a nigga woman giving another nigga woman advice. She told me, he said, oh yeah, no matter how many kids you got or whatever, there's always gonna be a man that's gonna accept you for who you are.
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
Yeah, his name is Pookie and Ray Ray.
Yeah, well, I damn near laughed in her damn face.
His name is Sucker.
His name is
Lollipop.
He'll be there to hit it, and that's it. You know?
Back in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, and verse 2, while the sun or the light of the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
Oh, that's another thing. So that's what he's saying. Don't think just because everything look good now. You wanna remember to create a now. You don't wait till your end. You don't pull a Denzel. I'm gonna do this final movie. I'm 77. Now, let me get off my ass. I'm gonna go to a church. Walk on down with my old legs to the church. And you know, they got respect for the person, so they said, you should be a bishop. You should be a leader. Get real. Yep, I'm baptized. I'm baptized. Classic Christian stuff. Wait till you old and brittle.
And you heard the music playing in the background. Take me to the one. Hella funny.
Now, you know he an actor, right? He acted. Okay? He acted.
When I'm good and ready, I'm gonna go to the Lord. I done did everything I had to do. Now I'm in my head. Nope, it's too late.
I was in training today. I played the most grimiest nigga in TV history.
I kissed a man.
Kissed the man, and then I'm gonna do all this because this is all good because I planned it right. I'm gonna do this movie, then I'm gonna go to church.
You said hypocrite mean actor, right? Yeah, hypocrite.
Right.
And brother, Kid, the times can give me Tobit 14:8 is a good point. Okay. I did.
Finish this off. Okay. And it says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few.
That's another thing. Grinders cease when there's no work. Back then, people were happy because the economy's fine. Economy's booming, all this. We in a time now where you got more layoffs than ever because of AI and cuts. Now it ain't funny no more. Sir. Now you got black women, they doing the cuts on the Section 8.
Sir.
They
SNAP benefits.
because you thought ain't nothing gonna happen to me. I was born on Section 8 and never take it away. Guess what? Taking the shit away.
Section 8, baby.
I'ma die on Section 8. That one black woman, I'ma die on it. I ain't ever getting off. You gonna get kicked off of it.
Yeah.
And now what do you have to show for it? Oh, all that time while you was on it, you had people telling you you shouldn't rely on that. You get you a husband, you should try to get off that. I ain't worried about that. Now, here you are, years in, no work experience, no communication experience. You can't talk without cursing or smacking. Can't talk like that. I was at get some food and this black she tell she wasn't gonna make it. She can't, her answer is y'all. Like, so, y'all. I'm like, bitch, yes. The answer is yes or yes. You ain't at home talking about some y'all. I'm like, yeah, you ain't gonna make it. I came back, she wasn't there. Yeah, get that bitch out of here.
Right.
Talking like that. You don't know how to speak. You don't know how to communicate. You can't send an email. Okay? You can't open a text. Well, you probably can do that.
No, she can do that.
Yeah. But you know, you can't check an email.
It's a lot of incorrect spelling.
You know, so they'll be like, well, did you check your email? Oh, what's that? What's that? I don't know all this computer stuff. I ain't got it. Okay, we'll send you a last check in the mail, you know? And then now it's, well, damn, I don't got no man, but I got 2 baby daddies, and they ain't no good. So you didn't, back then in your peak though, that body was banging. Everything was good. Nobody could tell you nothing. Here you are now.
Man, literally, like, damn near every single chick that was in my class that was so-called bad, they either got fat or pregnant. You know, and even if they still look somewhat good, they a single mother talking about some, yeah, I need love like this. I need love like that. I'm like, bitch, what did you do in your fucking 20s and teens?
With the first 2 baby daddies.
And you're gonna end up like Vivica Fox, 60 years old, talking about some, now I'm ready.
Right. Motherfuckers talking about some, oh yeah, 50 was in love with her life. I'm like, bitch, that was like, what, 20 years ago?
Bitch, your record of man is on the internet. You done been with several celebrities. It said 50 Cent wanted to marry your black ass.
And it all flopped. Because you nigga woman, you think that you better than what you actually are. You always wanted to be better than Adam. That's literally the main thing that the serpent told you. Oh yeah, you can be over Adam. You know, you can you can have just as many or more sexual partners than Adam. And then now the chickens are coming home to roost. And now, like, the men are waking up. Like, wait a minute, like, y'all a bunch of hoes.
Right.
You know, like, y'all a bunch of single mothers. Y'all got a bunch of tattoos. Y'all a bunch of gold diggers. Y'all a bunch of, right. Y'all a bunch of witches. It's like, damn.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
big one.
it's like, literally, like, it literally gets worse and worse and worse.
You got 3-4 baby daddies, but you trying to get a nigga to be in the friend zone.
I seen this one lady right when I was coming down here. She said she used to get 10,000 in government assistance every month. She got 8 babies by 4 baby daddies. She never had a job, ain't never looked for a job, and not gonna look for one. Now they cut off her welfare, they cut off her SNAP and her Section 8. Tomorrow, what am I gonna do now?
I tell you what she gonna do. They made her surrender her SNAP benefits. Now she got to surrender the benefits of her SNAP. Okay? That's what she gonna do.
You see?
Sugar Free said, he was like, the pimping is against the scripture. But Sugar Free said, look, a bitch should never be broke. You got a mouth and 2 holes.
Right.
You gonna resort to the oldest profession.
Right.
They're already doing it.
Yeah.
Like here it is, you done already, they got ran through. And now you get your fat ass with your pink, blue, red, whatever type of hurt you got. It's almost, yeah, a nigga gotta pay for they gotta pay for my nails, and then gotta pay for a fucking daycare for your bastard children that you had by other niggas. And then I gotta pay for the date on top of that. Take you out to a fucking 5-course, fucking 5-star restaurant.
On the news, like the big, you see the one girl that made a pay a deposit.
Yeah. Like that's, like tell me that's prostitution without telling me that's prostitution. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding, and let that word be the same.
Let's start verse 5.
Verse 5. Concerning propitiation, be not without hands to add sin unto sin, and say not his mercy is great, and he will be pacified for the multitude of my sins. For mercy and wrath come from him, his indignation rested upon the sinners. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth. In thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
Suddenly, make no tarrying. Remember the days of the Lord in thy youth, which means now. Once you hear this truth, you hold it and you don't let it go.
Right.
That's the purpose. Christ, like, can you find that? How should I talk about find the treasure in the field?
And one more sentence, it says, and perish in the day of vengeance.
See? Because you saying, I got time. I ain't worried about that right now. I got binoculars. I can see when the Lord coming.
We got 1,000 years.
That's when I'm gonna make that move to make my change. We're gonna pull a Denzel. Well, Denzel waited till he was 70 something. Shoot, if it worked for him, it'll work for me.
Right.
I got an acting career. You know.
Yeah. Hey, that's the thing. Like, hey, just give Jake a reason to do something wicked. Hey, he, you know, the same way with a woman, you give her and she take him out. You know, like, oh yes, thank you. So, like somebody that can justify me and my wickedness, so I can feel better about being a hoe or taking a jab or taking a micro C hip.
And he went to the Christian church. He ain't coming to like
Right.
he went to the goddamn Christian church.
Right. He knows I could just come in here. And like I said, all of a sudden he's a pastor. Now did he work his way up? Nope. Respect the person.
Yeah.
Money. That's how we're gonna get some money. Yeah, when people heard that we got them sales up here,
Right.
everybody signing up.
That's what I thought. Esau probably said he would to get people back to the Christian church.
Ain't quoting no scriptures. Just up there talking.
And you already know he haven't ate the whole roll. You know?
You know, it's a saying, they say that a lot of them pastors, they came from being pimps on the street. For pimping the people in the pulpit.
The new cloak, okay? The new disguise. Okay? You got something, brother?
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 3 and 18, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God. For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Right? So the wisdom of this world is foolishness. And if you want to come to the Lord, yes, you're going to have to be born again. The world consider you a fool when you got to be a fool to be wise.
If I may add, what do you think happened to Charlie Kirk? Okay? And the world think that man, he was smart. He had I seen a picture of Charlie Kirk, right? He had a banner that said, "Prove me wrong." That's proud as hell, okay? And what the scripture say? Pride cometh before a fall. Okay?
It says a little wisdom is better than much, you know, so the guy with the little wisdom will know, okay, I know better than, actually, there's plenty of sayings out there, right? If anybody think they know something, let them know that they don't know nothing.
Right.
It's scripture.
Right.
But people know that, like, you got people who think they know so much, but they don't know that they really don't know nothing.
Exactly.
I think even Erykah Badu is in one of her songs. But even scientists would tell you, right, the more they dig deeper into trying to understand just the cell, the more they realize they don't know nothing.
Yeah.
They don't know Jackson White.
Thousands and thousands of more mysteries that open up.
Exactly. The more you think you know, the more you're going to realize that you don't know. And the scripture said that's the glory of the Lord, because you can always be blown away like, man, the Lord is goodness gracious, powerful. You learn a subject like geometry, right? You're going to basically learn that that's absolute, and you're going to be mind blown. Hey, the Lord deals with shapes, he deals with shapes. Okay, he deals with
Look at
shapes.
the earth is not flat.
It's a perfect, and it ain't just no circle. It's a perfect, I mean, it ain't like, you know people that draw a perfect circle, the Lord is perfect. You look at the sun through the perfect. You know, the Lord deals with shapes.
No, and it is even said that a fool is considered wise when he holds his lips.
Yeah.
So,
This is Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 33. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. Right? You come into the truth, the Lord basically breaks you down and builds you up. Because you've been doing things wrong your whole life. Whether that's dealing with a woman, whatever you're doing as far as like food, anything fun size, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
You learn from animals. I learned a lot from cats. You know, those feline creatures teach you. And you know, ants can, like scripture says, ants can teach you. And you know, these animals can talk. They'll tell you things you should be common sense. Like, hey man, you know your creatures are really good, you know? Yeah, you ain't know you're supposed to do. How do you think they got that knowledge? The Lord. A lamb. If a lamb can talk, lamb can say, even I know, like the donkey, even I know that I gotta listen to my master. Like, it's common sense. You know, why would I not listen to my sheep? They give me food, water, and all that. That's why the Lord said they got more sense than damn Israel. You see? So the creatures can rebuke you a lot.
right. Like that one did, the ass did with his master.
Oh, yeah,
Say,
right.
haven't I always been good to you all this time? He tried to get him to think straight now.
Yeah, but you move course. I'm saving your black ass.
A donkey. And the donkey is considered a dumb creature. A dumb and stubborn creature. You know, but hey, the donkey had more sense than you. Like, what's the saying in the world? You dumb ass.
That's
You
the
know,
description.
you dumb ass. It says what the dumb ass being.
That's in the scripture. You guys using profanity. Well, the word profane means to speak outside the temple. If we're speaking right things, we're not using it. It's just rude speaking. But yeah, like even though horses, you know that horses when it's raining, they don't do all that movement. They follow the current and they turn their back and put their head down. You're like, what that is? They're trying to avoid electric shock. So you know, like they say, don't stand under a tree and all that. They already know, oh, you gotta be careful. Because if you're in an open field with the electrons you get, so they move. And I think it's ducks that do it too. But you can look it up, they actually move. When the wind changes, they move and they stand still. You're like, oh, I wonder why they're doing that. It's because they know how to avoid the threat of danger. You know, so hey, animals are in tune. They're more in tune than we are. You can learn from them. I'm learning a lot just by watching cats.
It's like got a cat at home. They know when danger's gonna happen. When that house exploded, motherfucker ran downstairs. I'm like, you know, and hey, next thing you know, boom. You know, so they be knowing already. Man.
Yep.
For a tsunami or something, the elephants will be running around because they can feel the earth.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
seismic and the waves. danger, you know. So you can learn from them. To learn, like, okay, I mean, it's not good, but they use the canary, right, in the mines. Or the canary down there, and the canary was basically their lifeline. The canary died, they got the fuck out because they didn't realize they're bringing in too much CO2 or methane. Because the canary, they breathe in and out very fast. So by the time they breathe all that, they done already inhaled so much that they would. Then that's when the people say, "Hey, we got to get them out of it." You don't realize it, but you're bringing in danger. Which they shouldn't do that because they're killing the birds, but they eventually advance. But that goes to show you that you can use nature to learn what you got.
Oxygen levels.
Alright, this is 2 Peter chapter 2. And let's start at 15. It says, which have forsaken the right way and are going astray, talking about false prophets, following the way of Balaam, the son of Bosor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. It says, was rebuked for his iniquity. The dumb ass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. Right? Dumb ass speaking with man's voice. Like, here it is, the Lord was basically working with him, like trying to show him, like, you shouldn't do this. And now his mind, like, I'm gonna do it anyway. And so that's why the Lord had to open up the animal's mouth to basically tell him, you know, like look. And the reason why I did this because it's an angel standing right here with a sword. And if you would have ran up closer to him, you would have got your ass chopped down. You know? Yeah.
So that's how the Lord can save you. You know. Christ, I think you can save you.
Yeah, you told me to get
Oh yeah, that pearl. Oh yeah, even and that's another thing you can learn, like with dogs. My dog did it when she was sick. The research will tell you that animals, when they know something's wrong with their bodies, like dogs, they'll eat from the tree. They try to get greens because they know that something's wrong. So common sense should tell you we should be doing the same.
So now.
Go to the herb. You know, because even they got sense to know something ain't right. We found a tree. Let me get these vitamins and all this in there. You know. Yeah, man, the Lord put the spirit in you, you learn from them. You can learn from mountain goats, right, who got the hooves to stand. But when they see danger, they not trying to fight head on. They not trying to prove they're tough. They're going to run to their terrain where they're safe and say, this rock is my safety. See?
doctrine. You won't get me.
And we supposed to do the same thing.
Hey, Bird did that. Bird was chasing them damn the mountain goat, and he got on a little tiny ass little rock, and the bird tried to get him and just tumbled down to his death, bust open. Like, it was like he fell about 1,000 feet, hitting rocks at the rock dog. Yeah,
and then you got the ones where they surrounded by them dogs. There's like 3 of them. They just chilling on the rock, literally surrounded by them. They just chilling. And the dog getting closer, trying to hold that, and he just scoot down a little bit. They not panicking, they calm.
I'm chilling.
I'm on my rock. My strength is this rock. This is my strength. We supposed to do the same thing. So you gotta have faith. And you learn so much from preachers, man, for real. Like, they'll teach you, like, yeah, they teach you because they know, they typically know more than you. You know?
Yeah, because the animal is a very carnal creature. So like they are literally made with the earth. Scripture says, well, the spirit of an animal goes down. You know what I'm saying? So they know like the ins and outs of the earth and go places where you can't go.
Right. And they do make foolish decisions and make dumb decisions. Yeah. Right? Like there's a bird that's trying to grab the snake, he's biting the tail, but the tail is a deception. To seem like, but the bird keep coming back. Like you ain't got no sense. That's why the scripture refer to a lot of jakes as brute beasts. Because a lot of brute beasts just go off of that one sin, not knowing they can die. Right. Like, oh look, food. Oh, it's bait. Oh look, food. Oh, it's bait. Damn, I almost got bit. Oh look, food. Got your ass. Yeah. It's like you gonna keep coming back and fucking eating. But all they know is they nature, right?
The Lord compared like these YNs to bulls, man. Because what do bulls resemble? A rage. And what happens to a bull when it continues to be in that rush stage? It run into a wall, end up offing itself, man. That happened a lot, man. Where a bull will be charging someone, they hit a wall, end up dying, man. You know, just symbolizing how Jacob find himself in a situation where he might lose his life because of his rage.
Isaiah 1 and 3, the ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know, my people do it not consider.
Right? Our people don't even realize or know, like we mentioned, their strength. Animals know their strength is, but our people don't know our strength. Our strength is in the heavens. Our strength is not in our own might. It's not in our weaponry. It's not saying we weak, but we know that to win a war, we need the Lord. Winning a battle, so to speak, yeah, you got your wits, you know, you're mighty, you're guys, but to really win, it's in the Lord. It's not because you're this bad, you know, because, what's that guy named, what's that black guy named don't fight? He eventually, Kimbo, he failed of what? Heart attack. So just because he looked like he could fight, his diet was probably ass. His diet was probably trash, you know. So it's not, the wisdom should be, I gotta take care of my body. And it's not about throwing blows or anything like that. You know, even if you can fight, that's not real strength. That's not where your strength, that's only, it says knowledge can benefit. But true benefit, if you understand fighting or whatever, is it's best not to fight at all. And if you got any defense, is to avoid and get the fuck out of it. That's the real defense. You know, versus trying to head on. Really is to avoid. Even Bruce Lee understood it. See, a lot of people don't even know Bruce Lee.
Yeah. He said what? Enter the Dragon. I call it the art of fighting without fighting.
Art of fighting without fighting.
And he like, okay, that island right there. He like, all right. Then motherfucker got on the damn boat, and he took the damn rope off the boat. He like, hey, don't try to pull yourself up. So this motherfucker in the boat like, oh, help. And he like, hey, let go of the line. You know?
And he also said, I'm 140 pounds. If I don't finish my opponent in 3 moves, I'm done. It's like I'm through. That's how you know Big Jake talk just like this. But he knows that with all this training, if I don't end it quick, I'm in the trouble. Meaning the goal is really not to even get involved. And if you have to end it as soon as you possibly can, or like women, right? Women want to learn self-defense, but you know, I advise learn some type of escape from grasp, like judo or something like that, and get out. Don't try to fight, because if somebody grab you, you gotta understand you're the weaker vessel, right? Your goal should probably try to figure out how to break the grip and run for the heels. Don't try to fight a man, because eventually you gonna get your ass. You eventually gonna lose.
It's like that video of that damn Eve and that damn Edomite. One move, boom, she on the ground.
Got your gun, but no.
Unloaded it, he could have killed her, but nah.
Your real strength is being feminine and not even to be in that situation.
Exactly.
And you can escape that way. But if it gets to that point, stretch ball scream, that's really a woman's strength.
Yeah, I'm about to tell you that.
Scream, that's really her.
Judith understood that. Like that's why she went to Hollow Furnace all night. She dolled herself up, put the perfume on, came to the song, got drunk. Yep, we got you. Wow. You know, you don't have to always like be upfront with it. You know.
When I was in school, I think I was feared a lot. I was the smartest motherfucker in school. When I was feared above all the other people in there, and I was always wondering why. It was because of my communication. I thought I was so good at talking out of a fight that people feared that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just talk. I don't know. It's just the way that I talk. You know, sometimes I talk myself out of a fight, or so much. Sometimes I just talk so much shit it seemed meaningful that people didn't want to test me. So when that was in grade school. Now when I went to high school, man, my name would beat me there. So when I went to high school, they said, nah, don't mess with me.
Is that Proverbs 15? You can read that. Go ahead and read that.
This is
That's a whole topic. You got wisdom, words, escaping, you know.
This is Matthew 13 and verse 44. And again, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a treasure hid in the field, the which, when a man hath found it, he hideth, and for joy thereof goeth and selleth all that he hath, and buyeth that field.
Now, again, to the world that may seem foolish, but he understood the value of that treasure. So when you get this truth, you're supposed to hold on to it. Don't look and say, well, I'm doing real good right now. I can worry about this later. The economy is good right now. There's still work available. Everything's looking good. I don't really got to take heed to none of this because it's gonna catch you suddenly in your security. And now you're trying to play catch up. Whereas you should take heed of it now and realize really you're behind. Time is really short, as you all know. Time is short. So if you got to get the breakdowns all of it, do it now. Don't wait. Take like, man, I'm like we was talking about earlier in the chat, like you're going out of time. Like, man, like that's what Paul said. He's like, I'll last of all as if I was going out of time. Because what Paul basically saying, if only I knew. Like I said, I came into this when I was 20. Really, I'm late. I should have known this the moment I could speak. Okay? So really, we're all late. We're all behind. So we're latching onto it and we're not letting it go. That's the spirit you gotta have. Because here it is, it's happening now. If you lingering or BSing around, it's gonna hurt. Like we use the woman example. Out of all this, you know who the woman, who's the ones that's rejoicing? The one that said, I'm so glad that I married my husband and I didn't run even though I had the temptations and I stuck with my one man because now I see, whoo, I'm just glad I ain't one of these women out here. So you see in the long run, it shows if you do the right thing, in the end, it's gonna benefit. Though at front, it may seem like, that's why the scripture says, don't fret the evildoer. Because it seems like they're having success. It seems like they doing good, and here I am sitting still. I'm not getting that attention, I'm hustling, or I ain't really getting ahead, I ain't getting that money, but they are, the sinners prosper. That's why scripture says, don't fret them. Because in the end, like we read, eventually they're gonna get rooted out. And in the end, you're gonna have something to show for the hard work and sacrifice that you put in. Say like that woman, she put that time into her husband and her marriage, she got something to show for it. Whereas the bad bitch, the hot summer chicks, what do they have to show for it now? Just used up, abused, tattoos,
no protection,
tattoos passed around. Now they,
The bitch on social media talking about healing and shit.
now she trying to be like a Brittany Reiner. Now, oh, I'm gonna go to Muslim. I need somebody to take me serious. Versus the woman who stayed off the internet. Did, you know, she gave it all to her husband. She got something. She got something that benefits in the long run.
She ain't not cut for it.
Exactly. I tell you why you can read that. And then we'll figure out.
He said October 14 and 8, right?
This
This
is
book.
when Tobit was counseling his son, all right, to leave. Even though it looked good, he said, nope, get up out of there. And in the end, it's going to benefit. Just an example. Go ahead.
God, October 14 and 8. It goes on to say, and now my son depart out of Nineveh, because that those things which the prophet Jonas spake shall surely come to pass. But keep thou the law and the commandments, and show thyself merciful and just, that it may go well with thee. And bury me decently, and thy mother with me, but tarry no longer in Nineveh. Remember, my son, how Ammon handled, Achiachrus that brought him up. Now, how out of the light he brought him into darkness, and how he rewarded him again. Yet Achiachrus was saved, but the other had his reward. For he went down into darkness. Manasseh gave alms and escaped the snares of death, which they had set for him. But Ammon fell into the snare and perished. Wherefore now, my son, consider what alms doeth, and how righteousness doeth deliver. When he had said these things, he gave up the ghost in the bed, being 108 and 50 years old, and he buried him honorably. And when Anna, his mother, was dead, he buried her with his father, but Tobias departed with his wife and children to Akbatane, to Raguel, his father-in-law, where he became old with honor, and he buried his father and mother-in-law honorably, and he inherited their substance and his father Tobias. And he died at Ecbatane in Media, being 107 and 20 years old. But before he died, he heard of the destruction of Nineveh, which was taken by Abichudana. Damn, I can't see this shit for nothing. Abichudanosaur and Azarias, and before his death, he rejoiced over Nineveh.
Right. So he took his father's advice. His father said, "Jonah prophesied. I believe it. Go ahead and get out of here. Don't linger." If you know anything about Jonah, when he said that, the Lord held off because they repented. But he said, the Lord don't say that for nothing. I want you to get up and go. So he took heed of that, and in the end, he rejoiced because it happened. He said, "I'm glad I listened to what my father said." Again, while everything is looking good, they done repented, right? They done repented. We ain't got to, he said, "No, I'm going to listen. Let's go. So that's how it got to be with this truth, all right? Everything that's happening, you should see this is all real. And we're telling you because it was revealed to us. We take pleasure in telling you this too. Okay, we're not going to sell you a dream. Don't worry about fixing marriages and build community. That's a lie. Okay? We're telling you take heed. You need to take heed. Don't keep lingering, tarrying, because suddenly it can just happen. Okay? Here, you know.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, and verse 13. Then I said, O sovereign Lord, their prophets are telling them all is well. No war or famine will come. The Lord will surely send you peace. Then the Lord said, these prophets are telling lies in my name. I did not send them or tell them to speak. I did not give them any messages. They prophesied of visions and revelations they have never seen or heard. They speak foolishness made up in their own lying hearts. Therefore, this is what the Lord says. I will punish these lying prophets, for they have spoken in my name, even though I never sent them. They say that no war or famine will come, but they themselves will die by war and famine. As for the people to whom they prophesy, their bodies will be thrown out into the streets of Jerusalem, victims of famine and war. There will be no one left to bury them. Husbands, wives, sons, and daughters, all will be gone, for I will pour out their own wickedness on them.
So that's proof that just because you following the false prophet, the Lord gonna get the false prophet, but he also gonna get you. Because you hearkening into the lies, because the lies is comforting to say we will not see good or evil. So you probably think, well, he told me that, the Lord gonna get you too, because he still had the true man out here telling you, this is the problem, this is why the Lord has this process out here. So don't think just because you're a listener, I'm innocent. It's on him, no, because he's still gonna give you the option to hear the truth, to reason to say, I think that the truth is this, market reasons and shit. You choosing to willfully ignore the change in the doctrine from your leader. How he says, mocking the chip, to maybe it could be the chip, to, you know.
And guess what? When June came around, what they say, this is chip awareness.
National Microchip.
Right.
In June.
That's the Lord, sense of humor. Oh yeah, they said this, but I noticed a change, but I'm just gonna go with it. Remember at one point, thou shalt not go at Edomite, according to Nate, was just a certain time. Now it's written. The mark of the beast had nothing to do with you and me, but now it got something to do with me. And you hearing this, you know this, and you just like, yeah, I'm just gonna go with it because I like where I'm at. You gonna be judged.
Like how they broke the gold look on it.
Yeah. So it's because that's showing that really with you, it ain't about the truth. You're just blind followers. So that's the point of that, to show that you are not off the hook. Y'all got anything else? Alright, so with that, we're gonna give our praises to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem, Rakakwadash.
next time, Shalom.
So,